Hey guys, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. Sorry I'm a little late. This is the weekly intuitive astrology messages for May 5th to May 12th. Happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way. It's been an interesting, it's been an interesting morning already. And again, sorry for being a little late and a little off schedule today. I've just been, feeling out the energies of the week, and they're intense. They're intense. I'll be honest, like I had to take some extra time to ground before coming on here because I just kept feeling really aggro, to be honest with you. And so I don't know if any of you guys are feeling that. That may be something that comes up later in the week, but it's been up and down vibes to this morning. But anyway, hi, if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. The way this works, we're gonna get into a little bit of the overview of the week. Um, Sorry, I just saw someone's comment. It totally distracted me. No, not intense. Intense doesn't have to be bad. Intense doesn't have to be bad. I just put the title for the weekly on here. So if you guys have been hanging out, you probably didn't see the title. But this is a week of being faced with greatness, which is good. Intense is not always bad. Okay. There's a little bumpiness. I'm not going to lie. I mean, because we have Mercury in Taurus and we also have the full moon in Scorpio, and there's a couple T squares going on in that. So, and not everyone really likes Scorpio energy, especially a full moon Scorpio energy, you know? But everything's going to be okay because everything always is okay at the end of the day, right? But if you are new, the way this works, we go over just really quickly, like a like a paraphrase summary of what I'm seeing for the week, what I'm feeling in the week, according to the astrology and just what I'm intuiting. And then we get into the actual astrology, which I realized I didn't even put a timestamp thing for. Interesting. And then we get into some channeled messages and we pull cards as well. And it's always a little different week to week, whether we do signs or not, whether we do a collective reading or not. Okay. So that's how we do over here. But I do hope everyone's had a great Monday. I hope you enjoyed your weekend, whether you celebrated Cinco de Mayo, Beltane, or you celebrated May the 4th be with you, whatever your jam is. Or maybe you were just chilling and not even into any of that. I feel like this weekend was good for most people. Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much to talk about astrology wise, because like even as I said that, I'm like, you know, the shift with Saturn is probably worth talking about. The shift with Jupiter is probably worth talking about, just because we are in May, and summertime is going to be. It's not a bubble, but kind of. Summer's going to be an interesting bubble, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hi guys, I'm just gonna check in the comments real quick, and then we'll get into the overview. By the way, if you're catching this later, it is time stamped. Okay, let's see. Super intense. I feel a timeline jump, so much pressure. Yeah, I won't lie. It feels like being confronted with just like, I mean, greatness. Yes, we love that, but it's like it's in the face. It's in the face, and it's like, what are you gonna do about it? What you gonna do with it? And it almost has this intimidating energy, but it doesn't have to be intimidating. It's just it's intense. I'm germinating seeds tonight. Oh, fun! Mm. My seed starters aren't doing so good. They were doing fine, and then I tried to move into phase 2, and most of them are not doing fine now. If you don't see me saying thank you at the end, it will mean I fell asleep. Oh, no worries. That's okay. Let's see. Thanks for Lemuria reading. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. I was like, it took me a minute. Just took me a hot second. Yes, totally in the face. Yes, very in the face. Never caught you live after all these years. Oh, well, I'm glad you are, Ronnie. I know the algorithm hasn't exactly been super consistent with letting people know when I'm live. I've seen a lot of comments recently, actually commenting on my old videos, but like really old videos. But people also saying that like they're at the point with the algorithm where they actually have to like put in my channel name to even find my content now, which is like kind of crazy. Um, Sending strength to your baby seeds. Thank you. Yeah, my spinach wasn't doing so hot, and then now my onions aren't doing so hot. My basil's doing great. My chamomile's teetering. It's like it's trying to stay alive, but it's working overtime. Let's see. My partner scheduled a reading with you also. They were excited about it. Oh, yay, yay. I know I'm a little behind. So if you booked a reading for me, and I emailed you over the weekend. If you booked a reading with me and you didn't receive it yet, and you were supposed to get it last week, I emailed you about it. Yeah, just a little behind. Been watching old videos after making a timeline of the last few years, actually watching readings to reflect on events at the time. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I do that too. My worst fear. Thank you, Spirit, for saving my home and my life. Oh, well, I'm glad you're doing okay, Denise. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the overview now that we're about 5 minutes in, okay? Okay. So, like I said, intense doesn't have to be bad. Intense can be exciting and incredible and inspiring, right? So, again, if you're catching the title, this is a week where we are very much being confronted with greatness. Now, what does that mean? Greatness in terms of our vision and the greatness of us, like who we actually are and what we're actually capable of. So think of it in terms of like being confronted with your own personal greatness, even your own potential for your own greatness, or even your ability to have a certain vision or like of your way of looking at the world. I think that's another way to put it. Okay. Now, when you're confronted with this, so I'm gonna say we because I think it's a very big collective experience. When we are confronted with this, it's a moment of like there's so much truth in it that it's also highlighting like what we're doing that's not aligned with any of that, right? And some people, it's not going to be that big of a slap in the face because they've been in it, right? They've been aligned to that. They've been operating with their greatness or the greatness of their ability to have a certain perspective or vision, if you will. And some people, not so much, right? So it's going to be different for everybody. Now, I also want to say, like, this doesn't mean you have to do anything. Like, I want to make this very clear because I feel like in all these readings, and just like in the spiritual community across the board, hold on a second. Mm. Sometimes we get a little caught up in like grandiosity, right? And these like bigger than life messages or stories or ideas, right? It's like greatness is really just like, how do I want to say this? How does this want to be said? I feel like I have said so many words to kind of relay similar like messages that I'm like, I feel like I don't have the best word other than greatness for this because it is about your greatest potential, sure, but that also doesn't have to mean that like you're going to be like the one piece in like amongst hundreds of thousands of people to like change the world in its entirety. You know what I mean? It's like greatness could be something that's experienced within your community, within a friendship, within just like even your ability to like cultivate a life that is really well suited to you, makes you really happy. You know what I mean? Or maybe you just like have one contribution to another person's life, or again, the community, or even, or maybe even the world. You know, there's that happens. Obviously, we have people who have influenced the world, but I just want to like I want to speak on that full spectrum of possibility because I feel like sometimes when we get caught up in the like changing the world notions, um, oh, how do I want to say? It kind of like removes us a little bit from just like the present moment and just like also, yeah, all the various ways we can experience that without it having to be this like grand mission. There, that's the best way to say that. There we go. We got there. But again, this is like potential of how you're using your own skills, the potential of like living in alignment of your true essence, right? These are like these kinds of things. Skills are going to be huge here. Skills are going to be really huge here. Now, what's going to be supporting us during all of this? There's a couple things. We've talked about this theme of remembrance, right? Remembrance being, you know, things that we are recalling from the past, whether that's in this incarnation or other incarnations, again, like lost skills or just lost truths or lost wisdom, however that's coming through for you in your life. This remembrance is also this recall or reconnection to this more authentic sense of self as well, and even spirit, right? So, remembrance. The other thing that's supporting us at this time is Pisces. Having our connection to our inner knowing, to our compass, to faith, to the present moment, to trust. Trust is a big one here. Trust is a big one here. All of that is going to be helpful and supportive at this time, including self-care and like how we are maintaining our centers, how we're maintaining our inner knowing, like again, our connection and awareness of that, because it's going to keep us rooted and it's going to keep us like true to our compass and true to ourselves as we are being faced with the potential of all this greatness, right? Um, Thank you. They said another way that I can like speak of the greatness is it's also like being highlighted how we are uniquely qualified. It's a good word. Uniquely qualified for something, right? Whether that's because of our life experience or there's like some weird cosmic alignment happening, or again, just like because of the nature of just who you are as like a unique individual on this planet, right? I think that's another way to kind of look at that. But yeah, self-care, how you're maintaining like the right, like your regulation of being centered in your own compass, huge here, because there is a lot of squares. There's a lot of crunchiness that's kind of floating around here, because as we're also confronted with this potential for greatness, right? Also comes the question, are you willing, right? Are you even willing to accept that? Are you willing to accept that truth? Are you willing to embody that truth? Are you willing to make some, choices, changes even that align to the truth that's in your face about yourself, right? This isn't shadow. I want to make that very clear. This is not shadow shit. This is like literally like seeing your light in all of its grandeur, right? All of its divinity. I think that's a better way to say it. All of its divinity. And whatever you decide to do with that, however it makes you feel. Like for some people, like I said, it's going to be very minor because they've been there. For some people, it's going to be major because it's going to be like a fat wake up call, right? Of how we are like living in alignment with the potential of our own greatness, our own power, our own capability, our true essence, or not, right? So it's also going to highlight like all of the crap that's also still around you that has nothing to do with that greatness, that has nothing to do with the power of the unique you, right? And again, what you're capable of and what you are uniquely qualified for, uniquely designed for, uniquely like the puzzle piece that fits in the bigger puzzle, whatever that bigger puzzle may be. Like I said, a relationship, a family, a community, a job environment, etc., right? So, some tough moments for some people, easy peasy moments for other people. The other thing that's coinciding with this week, right? This is really interesting because when I saw the astrology and I tuned into it and I was like, oh, that's a funky shift. And then I felt it and I was like, oh, it's like, feels a little bumpy depending on what you got going on. Okay. So the other thing that we have, and this is like going from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. All right. So there's a transition happening here, and we'll get into it in the astrology as to why that's happening. Okay. Um, this experience of frustration, irritation, and anger at times, when trying to just like mosey about our lives and do things, and especially in relation to our own sense of desire, right, and our own sense of passion and excitement. Now, at that same time, there's also been in the collective, and not for everybody, because everyone's different. For some people in the collective, there's also been this like facing their own disempowerment by reclaiming their own sense of power to become more empowered, right? This may also coincide with some repressed, suppressed anger, rage, trauma for some people. Again, this is not shadow work. I want to make this very clear. Like, this is not a week about shadow work. If anything, it's a week of really facing the light, your own light in all of what it is, and deciding if you're going to embrace that, accept that, and walk in it or not. Right. So in a weird way, it's like, yeah, it's not shadowy, but it's intense. It's a confrontation. It's just, it's still intense. But anyway, so moving from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. So we have like, for some people dealing with this like powerlessness to feeling empowered, and suppressed emotions, anger, irritation, frustration with like trying to do things, trying to make things happen. And maybe it's not going right. Maybe it's making you feel some kind of way, or it's bringing up some of this like struggles with feeling empowered, right? And feeling capable. As we move closer to the end of the week, and especially closer to the full moon Scorpio, gotta love a full moon Scorpio. But as we move towards the end of the week, the energy starts to shift a little bit in terms of like, you've grabbed a hold of that empowerment. You've reclaimed that sense of power. You've reclaimed your capability, your belief in your own capability, your belief in yourself while being confronted with this greatness, right? Now you want to do something with it. Now you're like in it, and you're like expressing yourself from that space, making plans from that space or that energy. However, there's still some like squares and crunchiness around this. It's basically a shift of Mars to Mercury is basically what it is, and internalized to externalized. So what's going to happen is you're going to feel a lot more vocal. You're going to feel like you're going to want to say a lot more. You're going to want to like even like let people know like what's going on and like what you're about and like who you are or just whatever in this vein of embracing your greatness, right? It may not always land. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just may not always land. And also just to be aware of like where you're coming from, because this can actually get a little like pushy and like trying to persuade more than just like being and just sharing and connecting. The other thing that can happen is that those repressed emotions and anger in reclaiming that sense of empowerment and reclaiming like who you are and what you're capable of, reclaiming that greatness even, all of a sudden those repressed things are going to become very unrepressed and expressed. So, towards the end of the week, we actually may see more like emotional outbursts or just like being very yeah, emotional and like maybe even a little like I want to say thrashing. I don't know, I want to say the word thrashing in terms of our communication and like where we are expressing ourselves from, because now it's like for most people in the collective there's this new taste of like I know how to really exercise my greatness now. And I'm like, well, not know how, but like you want to and you're doing it. Right. And this is kind of the growing pains of doing that, but in a way where, you're going to cross some boundaries here and there. You're going to rub some people's feathers here and there, but you're also still, I don't want to say, but you're also in this new, like, open flow that was once closed. Ooh, it just had a weird reverberation go through my head as I said that. That was so bizarre. Sorry, that was weird. Um, Again, where you've had repressed anger or repressed emotions, suddenly that channel's open because you've looked your greatness in the face and you're embodying it and you're seizing it, right? So, I would say towards the end of the week, have some sort of outlet for your emotions, whether it is talking to a friend or journaling or whatever, like express yourself because you should be expressing yourself. But, if you're not like practicing that Piscean self-care, right? Taking time to like get in touch with yourself and what you're feeling, what you got going on, recalibrating yourself, right? Centering yourself. These emotions could creep out unexpectedly in who you're talking to or what you're saying and how you're expressing yourself. And there may be some of that already starting, but it's going to get really strong towards the end of the week, not to mention the full moon Scorpio. It's also at the end of the week, okay? It's not a bad thing. It's actually a very beautiful thing when you think about it, right? Because it's like having more like open flow. It's in terms of like your channels and your energy centers and your voice and your sense of like empowerment and your sense of, oh, this is who I am and like I am great and look like, you know what I mean? And not in a cocky way either. It's just in a way of really embracing yourself, right? And not being afraid anymore and not holding back anymore. That's a beautiful thing. You know, growing pains. So that's what's going on this week, okay? Um it's a week of empowerment and greatness for sure. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the actual astrology. I'll try my best to keep it simple. It is a little complicated, but I think I have a way of expressing it relatively easy. My words are all over the place today. Don't mind me. And like I said, too, I also have been a little like up and down today and a little aggro today and a little sassy today. So I've been in a mood. But yeah, let's get into the astrology here. Okay. I just want to scream. Maybe you do need to scream. It's very cathartic to scream. It feels really good sometimes. Okay, so let's get into this first cluster. Oh, actually, I take that back. Hold on. I take it back. I mentioned Mercury is moving into Taurus, right, on May 10th, and then May 12th is the full moon. Just wanted to give those dates. The other thing I want to mention, just doing this timestamp. Actually, we'll just do 40. There we go. Signs. So even though we have the full moon Scorpio, I actually would say that as far as people who will like look at their charts, right, like on the regular, for where shit's happening, or you look at your personal planets, Aquarius is by far the most active sign this week. Fixed signs, all fixed signs are going to feel the energy. There's no way we won't. Fellow Scorpio fixed sign over here. But Aquarius is definitely, I would say, the most pivotal sign for this week. And if you wanted to like, keep things simple and you want to just prioritize like looking at certain signs and looking at certain houses where those signs are, I would say Aquarius, Scorpio and Pisces are pretty equal on that front, and then Taurus. There's other signs too, but those are the four that I would recommend looking at. But first I would look at Aquarius, and then I'd prioritize Scorpio, Pisces, and then I'd prioritize Taurus. Okay. Now, the degree ranges are pretty vast, but that 22 degree point is the most significant because the full moon is at 22 degrees, but we also have other placements with some of these like planets and asteroids and what have you that are at that 22 degree point or really close to it. So if you have any personal planets at 22 degrees, especially 22 degrees Aquarius or Scorpio or Taurus or Leo, it just means you're really, really, really going to feel this week. And you're just really going to feel the energy. But if you have any like angles, and when I say angles, like your ascendant, your descendant, your midhaven, your IC, or of course, like in your houses, right? That's where you're going to see the most shit go down. Okay. Okay. So just to put that out there. Now let's get into the astrology. All right. So how this greatness is going to be like shoved in our faces, basically. So Pallas is still in Aquarius and is still working with Chariclo in Aquarius. Okay. They're in this conjunction. They're working together and they have been for a little bit. Now, this conjunction of Pallas and Chariclo is doing the most this week amongst all of the celestial bodies. They are the most active. And it's interesting because that's not a main planet, right? So in astrology, like we do prioritize planets because they are literally just larger and they do carry more literal and metaphorical weight or like gravitational pull even to how we are influenced by astrology. So that's why we prioritize planets. But like asteroids and dwarf planets, I always say are worth looking at. And the fact that they are this active, like they're creating like one, two, three, they're creating four aspects with other celestial bodies, and that they're also really pivotal in the full moon itself. Okay. By the way, I will be live this Thursday on Patreon for the full moon hangout. I haven't scheduled it yet, but that's when I'll be live for it, just so you guys know, whoever wants to catch that. So Pallas and Chariclo in Aquarius, I would say those are the ones you want to keep your eyes on, because when those two are working together, you have Chariclo, the medicine woman in Aquarius, who's been in Aquarius for a long time. She moves really slow, right? Now joining up with Pallas, also kind of a feminine energy, but Pallas is more about how we utilize wisdom and skills for resolution. She's also very Libran, like she likes balance and harmony and justice and information and knowledge and connection and all of that. But with both of them being in Aquarius, right, it's taking that lens of the authentic self, consciousness, even wisdom to an extent, creative intelligence, how we are connected just like by being human or even just like through community. Oh, yeah, I did mention creative intelligence and even like technology, innovation, inventiveness, right? And basically saying, like, based off of our own life experience and our own healing, right? Because Chariclo is, right, medicine woman. She's also been working with Chiron, who's also obviously is relating to our wounds. He's the wounded healer, right? So everything that we have been learning, becoming aware of in terms of whatever we have been, oh my God, I can't speak. I'm so sorry. Whatever we have been becoming aware of from our own healing, our own life experience, our own skills, and even from any sort of um, spiritual experiences, especially with higher consciousness, or anything related to technology and innovation, invention in our own lives, all of that, and putting it in the vision of Pallas and Aquarius. Because Aquarius is vision, but Pallas is also vision in its own way, because it's how we resolve. It's how we bring balance. It's how we restore, right? So again, all of this kind of building into that, Pallas and Chariclo together is basically is forcing us to be faced with greatness of vision and greatness of who we actually are and how it all works together to restore, to harmonize, to invent, to create, to exist, to express. Thought I saw a deer. Anyway, so there's that. I just wanted like to spend a lot of time on that because it is the most pivotal conjunction we have for this entirety of the week and along with the full moon. So this is also still in a minor grand trine with Jupiter and Gemini and with Chiron and Aries, while Chiron is still working with Eris. We've had this minor grand trine for a while, and this minor grand trine has just been helping us with gaining more insight into our life experience and our personal trauma, okay? And our personal wounds and insecurities to, yes, heal from all of that, but also like, oh, what did we gain from that experience? What did it gift us, right? And then, of course, utilizing that and then coupled with this like vision and greatness and all the stuff we've already been talking about, okay? So there's that. Now, at the same time, Pallas and Chericlo are also square Juno and Uranus this week. Uranus and Juno gonna be busy too. Scorpio, Taurus, right? So it's interesting because that's where the little bit of crunchiness comes into play, and also why it feels like a confrontation. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Also, why it feels like a little bit of a confrontation. Juno's also going to be conjunct the full moon in Scorpio. Juno's at Scorpio 24 degrees. The full moon's at Scorpio 22 degrees. Okay. So just keeping that in mind. So there's this T square between Uranus and Juno and Pallas and Chericlo. So this being faced with greatness of vision or greatness of just us and like who we are and what we're capable of, we're forced to look at Juno against Uranus. And Juno, well, Juno's mostly about partnership. Juno, especially with Scorpio, highlights loyalty and bonds, like emotional bonds and emotional ties. And in the grand scheme of like just generality, like, looking at the collective astrology here, I just keep feeling like it's about the theme of bonds, what we are bonded to, attached to, whether that is a relationship, whether that's contracts, whether that's obligations, or what we are literally like we can't let go of emotionally or physically, because that's the axis of Scorpio and Taurus. And this is including Uranus Taurus, right? With against Juno Scorpio with the full moon as well. So, faced with the greatness, are you going to allow yourself to recognize, in terms of what you're bonded to, what is aligned with that greatness and what's not? And whatever is not aligned, I'm not going to say it can't stay because it's a free will choice. It may be hard. It may be hard to allow these things to stay, but it's a free will choice. If you're going to allow these certain attachments or bonds to stay or not, if they're aligned or not, right? And that's totally up to you. But being faced with this, and this is probably going to hit a lot of people, especially on the full moon itself around the 12th, right? It's up to you. It's a free will choice, but it will be undeniable as to what those things are if it hasn't become obvious to you already. Because we've had little windows of this. This is probably the most intense I've seen it in the astrology, but we've had windows of this before. Okay. But yeah, that's the whole like first little cluster. So as far as like where this is going to be impacting you, 20 to 25 degrees Aquarius, and then I would look at Scorpio and then Taurus for that. But yeah, so wherever that's showing up in your houses, that's where you may be confronted with the greatness, right? Or what is actually not aligned to that greatness as well. Also, because Uranus is in Taurus and is creating all these weird aspects this week along with the full moon, don't be surprised if there's continued restlessness or continued like changes that happen or towers that happen. If anything, I think the towers are just going to be like confronted with this truth, and also like, can it stay, can it go, right? But again, that's a free will choice. Now the next cluster has to do with Pisces. This Pisces stellium that is like still here with us. It won't be for much longer though, I will say, because Saturn is going to start moving into Aries in June. Pretty sure it's June. I feel like there's a whole thing I could say about Saturn and Aries. Okay, I'm gonna say it really quickly. So you guys know we've been in these lessons of Saturn Pisces forever. It feels like forever. I feel like I've been talking about it over and over for like eons. And if you're not familiar and you're new, Saturn and Pisces is all about letting go, how to trust, how to have faith, how to forgive, how to accept, how to move into love, unconditional love, and even like detachment, so you can like receive and be open to just what's happening in the present moment and even just the potential of the future. That's what Saturn and Pisces has been teaching us. Now, Saturn is going to move into Aries in June. I know I have the paper somewhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter. In June, but then it's going to retrograde. So it's kind of funky because like I've had a lot of sessions where Saturn and Aries impacted someone's chart. And so I was seeing like these two split groups in the collective for the most part. Everyone's different. You got like one group of the collective where this summertime, while Saturn is in Aries, because once it retrogrades back into Pisces, it's going to be in Pisces again for a while. I don't think it actually moves back into Aries until February of next year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Anyway, where this summertime, like June, July, August, because September 1st, it goes back into Pisces, okay? For some people, it may feel like an actual summer break. For some people, you may actually feel a little bit of relief start to happen. And you may actually like start to feel like you have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more energy, like you're able to do this, that, or the other. And other people will feel like the opposite. Like suddenly there's this like sense of pressure or restriction that comes in or challenge that comes in over summer. And then when Saturn goes back into Pisces, it will alleviate, but it is dependent upon your chart, right? And so just keep in mind this summertime, like literally it's like June, July, August, which is like kind of cool. It lands that way. If you feel that like relief, just know that when Saturn gets comfortable in Aries again next year, and it'll be there for a while, like, roughly what, isn't it like 18 months or so? I don't know. I don't totally remember. Anyway, once it gets comfortable back in Aries, that's a good little gauge of how that time is going to feel. So pay attention to the summer. It's going to be a good little preview for 2026 as far as Saturnian energy is concerned. Okay. Yeah, that was a good little talk about Saturn. I'm like tempted to talk about Jupiter. Not important right now. Anyway, so coming back to the present moment, coming back to this week, Saturn in Pisces is still working with the North Node in Pisces and Ceres in Pisces. Neptune in Aries is kind of there. It's kind of close, but Neptune's not working with the North Node anymore. Ceres is catching up to it, but it's going to be very brief for how long Neptune and Ceres will be working together once Ceres moves into Aries. So it's like, it's there. It's a background. It's a background energy. But North Node, Ceres, and Saturn in Pisces is all about that self-care that I was talking about. All of that is helping us to be aware of on the daily, like what can we do on the daily to feel connected to ourselves? What can we do on the daily to be in the present moment? What can we do on the daily to be open and receptive to the possibilities of what's to come and what we even want? Excuse me. If you've been struggling with trust, with faith, with being in your heart, being in your body, love, your own creativity, your own intuition, this is all to say, do what you got to do to have some solid practices to hone in on those things in your life, because that will support you in any decision making stuff, generally speaking, but especially right now, as we are confronted with this greatness of vision and this greatness of who we are and how we are aligning to that or not aligning to that, because it's also going to help you to keep yourself true to your essence and your soul when navigating this. All of the squares, and especially with Uranus, can make this very jarring for some people. But the more centered you are, the less jarring it's going to feel. Okay. Yeah. And so this Pisces stellium is also sextile Uranus and trine Juno. So again, Uranus and Juno coming back up. And again, that aspect, Uranus opposing Juno, that is all about highlighting what we are ready to embrace or let go of in terms of what we are actually aligning to or not. Okay. And bonds. Think of bonds and attachments. Now for your charts for where this is going to be going down, I would look to Pisces for this. Taurus and Scorpio, a good close second to look at. But 20 to 29 degrees Pisces is where you're going to find a lot of support. That's the house you want to lean into with these practices. So I'm trying to think of an example here. Like it actually, that'd be kind of interesting. If it's in a relationship house, for example, like fourth house, seventh house, third house, leaning into your relationships in relation to that house and, being open with these people, deepening these relationships, allowing them to be almost like, just be vulnerable with these people in your life, because they actually can give you some insights. They can give you more support than maybe they normally you could receive in relation to making some of these changes and navigating these things. Okay. So that's a good example. If you have Pisces like in the ninth house, right? That'd be kind of nice. That would be kind of nice. Leaning into more of your personal spiritual journey or your personal like beliefs and studies around faith and even creativity. Psychology is really coming up there too. Even taking like trips that are like only for your self-care, or trips like oriented towards like faith, may be very beneficial for you at this time. Right. So those are just examples. Moving on. Oh, this next one. This is where we're going to talk about that like shift from the beginning of the week to the end of the week, with the like dealing with like the powerlessness to being empowered to suddenly like, oh, now I'm not so repressed anymore. Let me just like get out there. Right. I think that's a better way to describe that energy. Excuse me. So 2 things coming up with the next cluster: remembrance and that shifting that I was talking about from repressed to expressed. Oh, that's a better way to say it. It's an even better way to say it. So this remembrance is rooted in a minor grand trine we've had for a very long time. We're going to continue to have it for quite a bit because it involves three very, very, very slow moving celestial bodies: Pluto and Neptune and Sedna. So Pluto's trine Sedna, while Neptune is sextile Pluto and Sedna. Okay. So all of this is just helping us to be open and accessible to really the wisdom of our essence. That's really what it is. It's wisdom of our essence, it's wisdom of divinity, and being able to kind of pull from like our own consciousness, even the collective consciousness. But that can translate to past life stuff, that can translate to like lost knowledge and ancient wisdom, even like going into like anthropology and like what do people used to do that worked. Oh, we can like incorporate it now in this like different way. It's like and innovating off of that. Like that's all remembrance. It's basically like, yeah, just pulling on what was and working with it in the present in a way where we can evolve, right? And whether that's even just with yourself and who you used to be, what you used to like, or again, past incarnation skills, right? Even that. Um, and just pulling on that in the present. Again, lots of different ways you can look at that. When I first was working with this minor grand trine, I was getting a lot of like Lemuria, Atlantis, like Avalon, Egypt, things like that, like lost technology, right? Lost wisdom and technology. Or understanding of how things work. And that may be coming up for some people. I think this minor grand trine is also going to be very pivotal for just like collective invention, honestly. And you could even say new earth. I know that's like a term we like to throw around. I'm just like I'm really feeling this. It kind of feels like the fuel, like the motivation, inspiration coupled with the intelligence and even intuition, um, to create new systems and building blocks, right? Because when we have Neptune sextile Pluto, that is a generational aspect because they're generational planets. They move hella slow. So people who are born while Neptune's in a sign or Pluto's in a sign, there's a lot of people born within that window because it's literally a window that expands beyond a decade, right? Like generational. Neptune sextile Pluto, they've been in a sextile together for, oh Lord, I forget, like it's been decades. Decades that Neptune has been sextile Pluto, but they've shifted signs over time. So this is also why, like, people say, like, oh, we've had like the indigo wave and like the rainbow children and things like that. You can equate those waves to Neptune sextile Pluto because it is innovative. When you have these two planets in a sextile, you have the focus, ambition, and the intuitive power and also inner knowing of Pluto that is coupled with also intuitive power, but creativity and fantasy and the ability to dream, the ability to imagine, the ability to manifest, right? And to see what is possible that's not happening now for the purpose of transformation and creation on a collective generational level, right? I know I said a lot of words there. That's just how I wanted to be said. But when they're in different signs, it's about different things, right? It's transforming the greater systems in different ways or different pieces of it. So like my generation, for example, we had Pluto Scorpio, sextile Neptune and Capricorn. So that is like change the corruptive system, right? Neptune Aries with Pluto Aquarius, it's the power of the individual on the collective through invention and through creation and technology and advancement, all of that stuff. So it's just really interesting. Anyway, we don't need to do a whole TED talk on this. If you just wanted to understand this aspect more in your own life, but this is something that is bigger than the individual because it is generational and it's massively collective because it's Neptune and Pluto. Anyway, let's move on. So the last thing I want to talk about here is this shifting. I'm calling it the shifting T-square because I don't know how else to call it. So Pluto and Aquarius is also part of this too. Also why Aquarius is just like super important this week. But Pluto and Aquarius is square Lilith and Scorpio still. And Lilith's still working with Haumea. They've been doing this for a hot minute. They're still doing it this week. Now, what's weird about this is that while they're still square, Mars being in Leo at the well, Mars is in Leo for the entirety of the week, but where Mars is in Leo at the beginning of the week is working with Pluto and Lilith. By the end of the week, it's not. Mercury, by the end of the week, is in Taurus. So I know I said a lot there, right? But Mars, Leo, Mercury, when it moves into Taurus, right? So it shifts. And they are both T squares because of the nature of how the signs are shifting. So in the beginning of the week, we have Pluto square Lilith, while Mars is square Lilith and opposing Pluto. By the end of the week, Mercury is square Pluto and opposing Lilith, while Pluto and Lilith maintain that square. So just to give like the bare bones of that, okay? So again, how this looks. When Pluto is square Lilith, it does make us very ambitious. It does, especially in fixed signs. It makes us very, very ambitious. It makes us excited to act on what we want, what we think is best. Especially with Lilith, there's a lot of like desire and independence and like craving for freedom and even acting our own intuition along with our desires that goes on there, right? But the square just makes it challenging because it also is highlighting the shadow of Lilith and shadow of Pluto. So as we like get all like revved up to like do these things, right? To experience these things, we get confronted with the fear and insecurity along the way to make that happen. And so the fears and insecurities that come up are in relation to like, Scorpionic Pluto Lilith themes, but specifically to Mars and Mercury with where they're at in Leo and Taurus because of the nature of the shifting T square. So how does this look? It's exactly what I told you guys earlier. So the way this looks is the fears that are coming up in the beginning of the week have to do with powerlessness and capability. Like, am I worthy of this? Am I capable of this? Is this really who I am? Is this really what I want? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Very internalized, and touches on that repressed anger and repressed emotion and repressed fears and traumas and things like that. Alongside this is a lot more anger and frustration because of Mars being part of Pluto and Lilith. That's very malefic. Pluto's malefic. Lilith is kind of malefic in her own way at times. She kind of flip flops, but Mars is also very malefic. If you don't know what that means, it's just highly destructive. Okay. Pluto and Mars, they break things for in different ways and for different reasons, but they are associated with destruction, right? In some way, shape, or form, right? So yeah, anger and frustration and irritation are more likely to be experienced emotionally in the beginning of the week, but this internalized battle of powerlessness and to feel empowered, which I do think a lot of people, just from what I've been feeling and observing, have been doing a really good job at reclaiming their own sense of empowerment. Okay. And then as Mercury moves into Taurus and starts to play in all of this, Mercury is very expressive, right? And after dealing with like reclaiming this empowerment, now it's suddenly about how we are communicating what we want, right? Because it's still Pluto and Lilith. So how we are communicating and making plans, executing plans that's rooted in what we feel ambitious about, that's rooted in our independence, what we feel like intuitively inclined to do, and also just feeling very passionate about doing these things. Because also Taurus is like, we all know Taurus. We love Taurus. But when Taurus wants to do something, Taurus wants to do something. Don't get in Taurus's way, right? Mercury and Taurus in a square can really bring out the stubbornness, can really bring out the control, can really bring out the pushiness. It's not a bad thing. We're all human. We all have this. But just keep in mind that as you are like making plans or even like talking to people like from this new sense of power, it just may land weird or just may create some friction or flat out arguments because at the same time, all of the stuff that's been repressed is now suddenly available to be expressed and not so repressed anymore. Right. So if you're like dealing with somebody that you have like old grief about, but you've been like, I'm going to take the high road. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Let's just focus on this side or the other. By the end of the week, you may not be able to hold back, nor would you even want to, probably, about how you really feel. And there are ways of going about dealing with that. We're all adults. We all, have some experience in how we should be expressing ourselves to people, right? To our benefit and to the benefit of others. So just something to keep in mind there. It's not bad. I think it is a really beautiful, like I said, I think it's a really beautiful kind of chaotic thing. But yeah, a little funky there with communication. Now, where all of the stuff I just talked about, maybe going down in your charts, 0 to 10 degrees Aquarius is I would prioritize because Pluto's dancing in that remembrance and Pluto's dancing in this like shifting T square. But 0 to 10 degrees Aquarius, what would I prioritize after that? Probably Scorpio. I mean, actually, like all the fixed signs probably. Because I mean, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, they're all the fixed signs, right? But Aquarius and Scorpio are by far the most impacted here. Okay. And if you were paying attention to all the degree ranges I gave for all of the astrology, you'll notice that Scorpio and Taurus have a lot going on in actually all of these clusters, but 2 out of the 3 have the same range. So if you want to do like an overall, just show me, like just point where to look, I would look at the entire house of Aquarius and 20 to 29 degrees Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus is where I would keep my eyes, but Aquarius would be number 1. Okay. All right. I know we did a lot of talking there. I also know my communication's been a little not so smooth and eloquent as I'm used to it, coming out of me. But take a minute or 2 breather before we shift into channeled messages and cards as well. Mm. Oh, you just watched Star Wars? God, that's something I haven't seen in a long time. Let's see here. Just catching up on the comments. Currently on Astro updates. So interesting. Oh, you're going to sleep? Oh, okay. Good night. Started going for runs instead of smoking weed. Oh, that's a shift. Oh, blue spirit of the dragon. That's a huge shift. How does that feeling? I'm sure it feels good. How could it not feel good? Let's see. Got some reading to do. Pisces in the 12th house. Yep. Not me changing into a hooded cloak. Yo, I don't know if there's going to be activations today. Who knows? I mean, the full moon Scorpio is opposing Uranus. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, it will be beneficial. There's no way it won't be beneficial. But just like, I don't know, it just literally made my crown go, oh. When I saw that, when I was doing my notes, I was like, oh man, sounds like a headache. Literally, right? Like full moon Scorpio opposing Uranus, like that literally sounds like a physical headache. I could fall asleep right now and I'm at work. Oh, okay. Yeah. So nervous. What part of the reading are we on? We're just like allowing ourselves to slowly, casually transition into some channel messages. I was gonna do a collective read. I don't know if it's necessary. I feel like the astrology is like super clear. I feel like it's been a while since we've done like signs. I'm also noticing the time. I can't believe it's 3:30. There's a lot on my plate today. It feels weird not to do a collective read though. I know it's not totally necessary, but I kind of like doing it. I don't know. It just feels like a nice part of the process, right? Uranus and Taurus has been such a trip. He keeps touching stuff. LOL. Wait till he gets into Gemini. I don't know if I'm ready for Uranus to go into Gemini. I don't know if I'm ready for Uranus to go into my 12th house. I don't know. That sounds like a headache too, literally. Honestly, so I've been like looking at my chart a lot more closely lately just because of all the not crazy, but like important transits that we have coming up. And the more I looked at it, I was like, "Oh Lord, am I just getting ready for like 20 years of headaches? Is that what I'm getting ready for?" Anyway, I know this sounds very pessimistic. Like I said, I'm in a mood today. Pretty much done for the day. Hit the like button. Yes, if you're here and you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button. We love the collective read. Yeah, okay, let's just do it real quick. It's super quick. We usually pull 3 cards anyway. All right. And of course, we're using Big Bertha because it's just always appropriate. Okay. Uranus, my 3rd house, whole house. Yeah, I'm like, oh, Uranus in the 12th house in Gemini. Nothing wrong with Gemini. It's just like Gemini 12th house energy is just funky in and of itself. And then Uranus being there, I'm just like, if Jupiter in Gemini has given me any indication of what that's going to feel like on a personal level, I'll be honest, I have not enjoyed Jupiter in Gemini. I have not. I have been like counting the months until it moves into my 1st house in Cancer. Like I knew, sorry, a little rant and then we'll get back to it, I promise. Because I knew when Jupiter moved into Gemini, what was going to happen? Expansion of thoughts. and the mental space, which I knew meant it was going to be way harder to ground. It was going to be way harder to have less noise, even external noise. And I think we have been seeing that a lot, like in the last, well, yeah, the last year, right? I feel like I've seen that in just like readings. I feel like I've seen that in sessions. I've seen that in like my own life, people I know, that it's been really, really, really hard to turn down the noise or to get away from it. Are you a Gemini racist? No, I love all the signs. Every sign has its gift and every sign has its shadow. But like I said, Jupiter and Gemini, I knew it was going to turn up the noise because Jupiter doesn't really function well in Gemini because it's home in Sag, right? So it also doesn't like translate well energetically. And then when it was like, oh shit, that's going to be my 12th house. And yeah, it just has been, oh, I have not enjoyed it. So any water rising signs, because this is the other thing too. If you're a water rising, most of the air is in your water houses, which is like kind of funky when you think about it, but it also makes sense, right? It's like, sorry, this is like a whole TED talk. I really didn't mean to like go on this rant, but I feel like it's kind of important for those who like are curious and want to know. It may be helpful. So if you're a water rising, you have air in your water houses, which means the like it's like the unconscious to the conscious, right? It's like the mind like meeting the soul and the heart, right? And like trying to bridge the two, we're trying to connect the two, which like makes sense for water, like water signs and what we understand about water signs, right? But like imagine if that gets like exacerbated, right? So Jupiter going into Cancer, I feel like all of my water risings are going to have a little sigh of relief of like, oh, it's less quiet all of a sudden. It's like, oh, it's less noisy all of a sudden. Like, oh, I can like get grounded a little easier. Whether Jupiter's been in your 12th house or 8th house or your 4th house, right? 4th house has probably been the easiest. That's probably a Pisces rising. Yeah, that's Pisces rising. So just, just musing with you guys. Okay. Let's get back to the actual collective read and a new timestamp here. I just got really busy talking about all that stuff. Let's see. Oh, I'm a Cancer rising. Scorpio sun, but Cancer rising. Try being an Aries with Gemini rising. Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Because, like, and obviously it depends on if you're like whole house or Placidus system and if it's intercepted, non-intercepted, all these things, right? But like most likely your son's in your 10th house, though. That sounds amazing, right? Am I doing that math right? Or am I not doing that math right? No, 11th house. Still amazing. Still cool. But yes, I could see the challenge. I get it. Let's see. Jupiter in my Taurus sun. Yeah, I can't wait for Jupiter going to Cancer. Anyway, collective. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Is that why I have been a nutball lately? Could be a lot of things. Susie, just reading your comment. Could be a lot of things. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Oh, any messages or insights for the collective for this week? They're highlighting Uranus quite a bit, which is funny because we kind of started talking about Uranus and Gemini. We got a little sidetracked, or I got a little sidetracked. Because Uranus, it's going to move into Gemini pretty soon, relatively. And it's still going to retrograde back into Taurus and all this stuff. So it's like, it's going to be transitioning to its comfort in Gemini for a while. I think it's like a year or two before it's like fully in Gemini and no longer touching Taurus due to retrograde seasons. But when Uranus goes into Gemini, at some point, it is going to start trining Pluto in Aquarius. And I'm wondering, where are we, 2025? Ooh, I'm wondering if that's also going to be when the North Node is in Aquarius. I think that's all positive. I think it's all positive. But also sounds like a headache. Sounds like my crown's going to explode. Just like feeling into that and just like seeing it, But they are highlighting Uranus, because the other thing is too, as Uranus starts to approach Gemini, it's going to start working with Sedna. which means it's also going to start working with Alcyone and revealing hidden things, but not just like not in small ways, not in small ways. I mean, revealing hidden things, like, yes, so like in terms of consciousness and all of that, um, and secrets and all of that, but like, what's the word I want to use here? Primordial ways, like the level of recall and memories that are going to start flooding into the collective consciousness, I think is going to be on a level we have never seen. Actually, I'm wondering if that has been part of what we have been experiencing with these like waking dreams that we talked about last week. Because Gemini, it's a whole lot of TED Talks today, because Gemini is all about fractals of truth and reality. Gemini is very astral-like and astral-oriented, fractals of time and space, right? So if you have Uranus working in Gemini, Uranus the activator, the awakener, right? And then you start putting that energy with something like Sedna, that's all about primordial knowledge and primordial origins, origin stories. And Pluto in Aquarius, all about digging up the next layer, the next evolution of consciousness and truth and a community. Yeah, that feels like a massive flooding of memories. Just like words don't do that justice. Memories, knowledge, information, just flooding. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, any messages or insights for the collective, please? Take the top one. Why do I want to say breathe with this card? Druid, hold the space. Hold the space. This is giving me those the Pisces stellium vibes. Remember, Pisces is helping us to take those moments and have those practices that keep us centered. I want to say keep us sane, honestly, but keep us centered, keep us true to us, calibrating our feelings, taking care of our bodies, just like the whole calibration of self and being connected to our inner compass and our inner knowing and our intuition and our truth. And I want to say breathe with this card, because while there is this like confrontation of greatness and vision, right? How you are uniquely qualified and or designed to be the puzzle piece in a bigger puzzle, whatever that puzzle is. And if you're ready to embrace that or not, there is still a lot of like influx of emotion, right? Like going from repressed to expressed, of crunchy emotions. And again, it's not shadowy, it just is what it is. And I want to say breathe. I want to say breathe, because some of this energy feels very fast paced as well. And it does feel going from internalized to suddenly externalized. And there's going to be some decision making in the midst of that. There may be some shakeups in the midst of that. So take your time with yourself. And I want to say hold yourself and hold your own space and breathe. But that's totally the Pisces energy here with Druid. Okay. We're doing collective first. Let's see. Yeah. The Sesam and Taka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Right? That just is basically like, yes, the truth will be in your face. Like, whether it's the repressed and you're expressing the repressed, or it is that greatness and now you can't stop seeing the truth of this greatness of vision or greatness of you. It's bringing everything to the surface. Also, full moon in Scorpio, that's what full moon Scorpios do. That is what full moon Scorpios do. It's like, think of just like a full moon Pluto energy, right? It brings everything hidden to the surface, anything unresolved to the surface. That's what it does. So this is a great week. And then baby steps. And it's like I said, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself, even action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. I feel like this is just aligning to that greatness of vision and greatness of ourselves that we're being confronted with, because it will be undeniable. It will be undeniable if it hasn't been already. Again, we've had windows of this energy. This is just like being slapped in the face with it in a way we just haven't been yet. And you can either embrace that truth, or not. It's totally up to you. Power of free will and all. And if you decide to, this is a nod to take your time with it and one step at a time. They're bringing up intuition versus intelligence. And we talk a lot about this, right? You need both. But this is like This is taking into, there's something about here. Oh my God. Bleh. Words. Take the intuitive step, and it's one step at a time, like stepping with the right foot. Okay. What feels right? Okay. Maybe a little bit to the left. Okay. Taking that step, because the logic is helping you along the way. Right. Um, but intuition seems to be a big guiding force here. On the bottom, we have water guardian, connect with your emotions. Oh, we will be very connected to our emotions. Because again, it's repressed to expressed, right? So yeah, some things maybe feeling a little emotional here. Anything else? Anything else before we move forward? No, actually, I feel, yeah, and that's kind of what I felt. It was like I didn't feel like the collective reading was that required, because we talked a lot. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Moving on, getting into signs, elements. Let's do signs. We're gonna do some signs today. The animals really want to come out too. Okay. We're gonna start with our fire signs here. And I'm going to pull from the animal deck. Just, I think, the system that we've kind of gotten used to, where we kind of look at the elemental overview and then we'll pull for the signs. I just want one card. Can I just get one card for my fire signs, please, for this week? Also, I know my energy is like a little spicy today. I can just feel it, and so I'm sure some of you guys are feeling it too. So I guess just stating I am aware that I'm not in my normal baseline energy. Fire signs. Can I get a card for my fire signs? Why do I feel like you guys are going to get the elk? Fire signs. Well, whether we get the elk or not, I'm feeling elk with you. Feeling that elk vibration. That feels like responsibility. Responsibility and also confidence. I'm definitely getting confidence. Feeling confident with the level of responsibility that you decide is good for you. That's how I wanted to be said. Ooh. And then we have tiger. So elk to me is feeling a little more masculine oriented. Tiger is very feminine. So tiger coming out here from my fire signs. A fire card too is like so perfect. This is ferocity. This is intuition. This is also like relying on that feminine wisdom, but it's like it's in relation to your passion and how you actually use it, how you also take action here. So I think this coupled with the elk is great, because elk is very grounding. It's very earthy. This is just the pure essence of spirit, the pure essence of you. But there is this intuitive and like divine maturity, I want to say, that's backing it. It's Queen of Wands energy, essentially. Oh, we have elephant on the bottom too. So yeah, lots of action coming through here for my fire signs, and not allowing anything to hold you back. Beautiful. Yeah, they want me to say that again. Not allowing anything to hold you back from the greatness that you are being confronted with. You're not afraid. You are not afraid. You are believing in yourself, fire signs. I like it. Okay. Aries. Oh. Yes, spicy. How come? I think honestly, just the energies. I think just the way I'm experiencing the energies, it's putting me in a sassy place. That's all. All right, Aries. I'm scared of the full moon. Don't be. Embrace that. Embrace. Aries. Any messages or insights for Aries? I would be shocked if the Queen of Wands didn't come out for you guys, just based off the overview for fire signs. Aries, what's going on for Aries, please, for this week? Change and flux can be fun. Yes, absolutely. Aries, you have the Ace of Wands. I'm telling you, even if the Queen of Wands doesn't come out, you basically are in the Queen of Wands energy. It is your court card, and the Tiger card also confirms it, because that is my personal Queen of Wands card, and the Queen of Wands holds the Ace of Wands. So you're just feeling ready, Aries. That's what I'm getting here. You're feeling ready. Ace of Wands is also my ace of purpose, right? Because it's the sacred flame. It what literally lights us up and lights our souls and gets us going. Okay. So I feel like you're saying hell yes to something here. Maybe just hell yes to yourself. Anything else for Aries? Oh, Aries, look at you. Knight of Cups. Again, not being held back at all. I love that the Knight of Cups is here though, because that's a really nice balance of the fire and the water. They don't always have to put each other out, right? It's like when you can harness both water and fire, you have this really nice, like, working of your compass of your heart, but you're also very aware of what has you excited and what has you feeling good and what you are ready to put your energy into, right? So it's being spirit led on a lot of levels here. And yeah, not holding back. For some of you, could this translate to romance? Yes. Because that would be someone who has desire and who's ready to offer a cup, right? But I like your sassy side. It's refreshing. I'm glad you find it refreshing. I know that I'm not for everybody, just like everyone's not for everybody. Um, so thank you for embracing my spiciness and my sassiness. I appreciate. Anything else for Aries? All right. Ooh, interesting. And I said it's a nice balance, and then we have temperance. Temperance is literally the tempering of energy, and usually of like speaking to fire and water specifically. So that's kind of interesting. This came out here. Aries, this is feeling a little mission oriented. When I say that, it doesn't have to be like a calling. It can be. It absolutely can be. But it feels like you're on a mission is what it feels like. Temperance to me can be a bit of a guardian angel or a divine angelic assistance coming in or even like helping to guide you. But the Knight of Cups with Temperance is also two cards of healing and repair. So take this as you will. But whatever the mission is, you have it. You have your orders, so to speak, and you're ready to act on it. Whether that's just to bring some warmth and love into a situation or relationship, whether that's to mend, heal, and repair something, or whether that's just to be led by your spirit and led by your own yearnings and stirrings and callings. Okay. That's the different ways that I'm getting it here, but you are on a mission and you have your orders and you are executing them and you're not holding back on it either. Okay. Any other final cards for Aries? Ooh, there's that Queen of Wands. I was waiting for her to come out. Very nice. Oh, we have an Empress too. So surprise. Magician, Empress, and Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're not in your power or anything, Aries. Wow, that's amazing. So, Aries, I'm getting a couple things here. First of all, these three cards together is kind of crazy. That's like a powerhouse because you have that like magnetic, mystical power and authority and confidence of the Queen of Wands. You have the fertility and security and expansiveness and abundance of the Empress. And then you have the power of the magician that really can make anything happen and make anything come true, right? So again, I feel like you are very in your power. You're feeling very right. You're feeling very clear and you're just not holding back. And it is what it is. Some of you, just calling a spade with how this is coming out. Now I'll show you guys what they look like all together. If my hands are not big enough here. Some of you are calling a Knight of Cups to you as that Queen of Wands holding a wand, and it's almost like you're magnetizing a Knight of Cups your way, whether that's romance or otherwise. But some of you are absolutely doing that, okay? And it's just being confirmed in the cards. But most of you, you are just really clear and confident in what your mission is or what your calling is or what you feel guided to do. And you're doing it and you're feeling magical and powerful in it. And it's working out amazing in your favor here. Okay. All right. Moving on to Leo. Oh, timestamp. Always helpful. Leo. I'm just going to use the same deck for all the signs today, just to make things quick and easy. They'll get back in my hands. Okay. Leo. What's going on for my lions? Some of you guys are really over some sort of monotony. I'm hearing the word mundane. Yeah, it's giving me like Four of Cups energy. So some of you guys are kind of just over a situation or bored, flat out bored even. You just don't want to do it anymore. Like it's like you've done the same task over and over and over. You've done the same routine over and over and over for like day in, day out, week in, week out. You need a change, which is interesting because like you are a fixed sign, but you guys are a fixed sign that's all about fun, right? And pleasure. I think what you have been doing is not pleasurable. Maybe even if it brought you pleasure or had a purpose at some point, they're saying it still has a purpose. I don't know. It needs new. It needs to be refreshed or something. Something about it feels very stale. Anything else for Leo? Come here. Leo. Yeah, you've been very consistent. Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. Knight of Pentacles is literally the card of consistency, predictability, reliability, day in, day out, day in, day out. You have been very diligent and devoted and consistent with something, and I just can't shake the feeling you are kind of over this stage of it, or this way of experiencing it. Okay. Could be anything. It could be a relationship, a job. It could be like a goal that you've been like consistently working on, and you're just, I think you really are just bored, is what I keep getting. Stale is the word that keeps coming through. It's stale. It's very stale. Some of you may have been doing this to wait for a payoff. Yeah, Queen of Swords. Again, this is your awareness that like, yeah, I have been consistent and something about it needs to change, or you just desire a change in it. But you are also the Queen of Swords here. Ooh. It has been for a reason. Justice. You've been staying with this. You've been staying committed because something in your bones has been telling you like, this is the way to get what I want. This is the way to get what I deserve. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way is what I keep hearing. This is the way. I just think you're really tired of the way. And I feel like some of you guys have been waiting for a payoff or some sort of like completion or hitting a milestone with it to really experience justice. It's like you haven't had justice yet. It hasn't come yet. And I feel like you've just been playing like you've been just being diligent in hopes that it finally will. And you're like, when is it happening? It's really interesting. Can you tell me more about justice? Yeah, when can I have a change? When can I have new energy? Three of Wands is looking to new things, new energy. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles for Leo. Let's look at this diligence. Yeah, you're so over it. Yeah, 5 of Wands. You're like, I've been doing it, but I don't want to anymore. Okay, that's just that. Confirm that. Queen of Swords. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. I feel like you are gonna see either like that you are so close and it's just like a little bit longer, or you're gonna see some sort of needed change that will bring in some of that like breath of fresh air to break up the staleness, the stagnancy. It's not stagnant, it's stale, to break up the staleness here of the monotony. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. 6 of Wands, Jupiter, Leo energy. Lots of Leo in your own reading. 5 of Wands is Leo as well. One more for the 6 of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Some of you've been waiting for your freedom, which is interesting. Maybe you're waiting for like a divorce to be finalized or something like that. Yeah, some of you, this is about freedom. Probably just freedom from the monotony, but it's like some of you, this payout or the big break or the justice itself is an experience of freedom, is an experience to move on to something else, something new, something different. Breathing room is also what I'm hearing. These are really interesting words that are coming through. The moon is coming out with the 6 of Wands, which is also kind of, I don't love that. Some of you guys could be moon Leo or could have a moon Libra. Why is the moon here with the 6 of Wands? Why is the moon here with the 6 of Wands and the Queen of Swords? Yeah, I feel like hitting justice and 3 of Wands, the end point to this experience or the needed change to actually get this experience has been very elusive to you, and I think that's been part of the frustration. Like some of you, it's felt like a never-ending experience. Some of you have felt like there's no way out. I'm getting both and anything in between. Tell me more about the Six of Wands and the Moon. Yeah, Five of Swords. Oh, Leo. Hi. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So I know you're not gonna like this, Leo, but just like the way this is coming through, regardless if it's like, oh, justice is about to happen, or your justice is actually about making a change. I do think you are going to get the clarity and probably with the full moon Scorpio as to which is which. But I'll be honest, I can't shake this feeling. And you're in control of your own life. You have your own discernment. Use your discernment here, regardless of what I say. I can't help but feel like it's about a shift in your own perception here, right? To be more free for in a lot of ways can be a state of mind. Um mm, yeah, I'm feeling like it's actually a shift in perception is what's going to help you to see the truth here. That your experience of being more free and having more breathing room or being able to explore something new is really your ability to believe that you can. Because the other thing too, we got a lot of fire and a lot of air. The only earth card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the only thing that's rooting your reading into physical reality is how mundane it has been and how monotonous it has been. Everything else is in the realm of the mind or the psyche with the moon or your own spirit with fire, which tells me that's where the answer lies is in your energetic, your like in your energetics or the mental space. Yeah, because even with the Six of Wands, the Moon, and the Five of Swords, it's like that Five of Swords with the Moon. It's like, yeah, I feel like this is the way you perceive, the way you believe, even ego, right? And on the other side of it is the Six of Wands through your own discernment as the Queen of Swords to see that. I feel like this is a state of mind. And I think that will become very clear and probably around the full moon Scorpio. Yeah. Okay, Leo. All right, let's move on to Sag. Okay. Sorry, really quick. Leo, if you're still with me, there's also no need to wait. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. You don't really have to wait to have a certain experience. Like, not really. Like, not in like the hindsight of things. If you really want something, there's always a way, right? I don't know. Some of you guys needed to hear that. All right, Sag. Sagittarius. What's going on for my Saggies? Okay, really odd side message. I know this is not for like the collective of Sag, but maybe like a small collective of Sag. Some of y'all got some weird face stuff going on. I don't know if like there's like weird things going on at your house, like things going missing or like weird lights or something like that. I don't know. I just got like some interesting fae activity. I don't know who needs confirmation of that, but someone needs confirmation of that. Okay, coming back, Sagittarius for the collective of Sagittarius. Ooh. Okay, Saggy. I don't want to say this. How do I want to say this? Yes, I'm feeling a warrior energy. It's very Sag. Oh God, like it's so hard to put this into words. Okay, I'm feeling a warrior like energy, but there's something about it that feels like majestic. Maybe you're like having some weird dream or a past life memory or something. Because it feels like I want to say you're taking up arms. Like so similar to Aries, you're taking on some sort of mission or calling yourself, some sort of cause. I'm gonna say a cause. I'm gonna say a cause. Um, that you feel like you are suited to be a warrior for. Some of this may be like a social justice warrior. To be an advocate for, a voice for. Four of Swords. So before this happens, you're taking some time for yourself, which I think is actually where this clarity comes through, or even a memory, right? Four of Swords is also sleeping. And I was kind of getting there's like some of this may be like a past life thing coming back. You could be meditating or sleeping, and something could be coming through in that state as that sort of truth, as that clarity of where you are best suited. Interesting. The word suit maybe something for you, because I kept seeing someone in armor, which was I was like, oh, there's like a warrior vibe going on here. But it was like that armor to me said like it's like you're a warrior for something bigger than yourself. It's like you're a warrior for like you're the warrior or the voice for other people or a cause or a statement. It's like something bigger than you. Um, but the sword of truth is what comes through when we take time out in the Four of Swords. Again, whether you're meditating, sleeping, or just taking time for yourself. Okay. Some of you, this may be something that is just you and you've been this way and you've just needed a little time out. Okay. Anything else for Sagittarius? I want to say the voice is prominent here for you guys as well, however that's coming through. And the word advocate. Oh, sorry, so many things. Yeah, look at that. Wow, Four of Swords and the Seven of Swords, and we have the Ace of Wands at the bottom. So Sag, this is also why the warrior energy is coming through, because this is actually rooted in some Chiron energy for you. Excuse me. The 7 and the 4 highlights the 3, which in the Four of Swords, you're meditating and sleeping on the 3 to get to that 4th sword of truth. But what you are recovering from, taking a time out from, or meditating on is the 7 of Swords. I feel like you are reflecting and are meditating on certain like pain points, I want to say. Pain points or experiences of injustice, experiences, memories, or feelings about anything where there's shady shit going on. But I want to say that you've had a personal tie to, like, again, it's like you're an advocate for a specific group of people is like how it's coming through. Like if you're seeing certain people that you know or identify with because maybe it's a shared, I don't know, culture, a shared lifestyle, a shared spirituality, like a shared something, right? A shared something. And you're like, you're just sick of it. You're sick of it and it's getting your fire going. It's like reflecting and meditating on this, sitting with this, or being reminded of this in your own space, in your own alone time, or trance-like states, it's lighting your fire. It's getting you motivated to take action because you have personal experience with this. Some of you have personal stake in this, but it's more than just you. It's bigger than just you. And I want to say it applies to some sort of like group of some sorts. Okay. Anything else for Sag? Clyde's dreaming. When he's dreaming, he does this like twitchy thing with his mouth. It's so cute. Anyway, sorry. Sagittarius. Let's see here. Yeah. Wow. That is like explicit to what I had just spoken about. Queen of Swords and the Five of Wands. This is you in that Queen of Swords energy, looking at that Five of Wands very clearly, right? With discernment, with intelligence, with wisdom. And you're looking at fighting, you're looking at conflict, you're looking at competition, you're looking at petty shit. The Five of Wands is a card of petty. Okay. We're all the same, but we're fighting each other for what? Right? It's like, it's that kind of stuff. And then look, Page of Cups and the 10 of Cups. You are reflecting on, I want to say these are injustices or just, again, shady, petty things that go on in your life against you or people like you. And you've just had enough. And the Page of Cups and the 10 of Cups is you also recognizing that you are uniquely qualified to bring in the cups into that space, to bring healing and soothing to these people, to the situation, even to yourself, right? So I think it's going to start with like having some sort of healing moment with yourself about some of these painful experiences you've been through of injustice or strife or just like attack and aggression and pettiness, bringing that healing to yourself and then realizing you can bring that to people like you. Okay. Or even doing that on behalf of people who are like you. Yeah, then we got the Fool at the bottom here. There may be a little bit of riskiness going on here. As far as like, well, you know, I get it. Like that can be a little like it's a roll of the dice. That's a roll of the dice when you're shedding light on bullshit and it's, you know, it's not just about you, it's about other people. Like That can be a thing. But I mean, if any sign can do that, you can do that. Okay. Oh, thank you, Flawless. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Um, thank you. Let's move on to another element. Just filling you guys out. Air, water, earth. Oh, we're going with earth. Okay. Can you guys hear him snoring? Let me know if you can. Sorry. Okay. Earth. His snores got super loud for a second. Earth signs. Can I get a card for my earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'll be honest, earth signs. I know this sounds really cliche. I feel like y'all being stubborn about something. Not a bad thing. Maybe you need to be. Because I'm getting the word stonewall. I'm getting the word stonewall. Like you're not budging on something. And again, maybe it's for a good reason. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see. You got 2 cards. Okay. We have Eagle and Hummingbird coming out for you guys. So Eagle is akin to the World card, okay? Where there's, new cycles of new experiences and new lessons and new themes coming in or closing out. It's giving me really intense fixed sign energy. We have a lot of that this week. And then we have Hummingbird. So in this deck in particular, Hummingbird is like a blast of positive energy. And I'm hearing positive influence. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm hearing positive influence. But Hummingbird to me is also an animal about timing. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wheel of Fortune comes out here. I feel like fate is working with you in your life, Earth signs. Well, and we'll get into the nitty gritty, but like probably most likely Taurus, since Uranus is in Taurus, just putting that out there. Doesn't have to be, but just according to the astrology. But yeah, it feels like a positive change, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, earth signs, there's a really positive change happening in your life, whether you're ready for it or not. Whether you're ready for it or not. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hmm. 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 Taurus. Island turtle time. That's cute. Okay, Taurus. Any messages or insights for Taurus for this week? For Taurus. Show me a really weird visual, and I don't really know what to make of it yet. So some of you guys may work with a monkey medicine, which is kind of interesting because monkey medicine's like humor. It's like mischief. Not in a trickster way, but like in more of a comedic way, maybe even destructive way, but not trickster. It feels chaotic though. I don't know, this is weird. It feels chaotic. I don't know if you're dealing with kids right now, maybe you're babysitting or I don't know, because it's giving me the feeling of like kids tearing up a kitchen or it's like tearing up. Oh, okay, maybe that's what this is. So Taurus, it has this feeling like something sacred to you, something that you go to for comfort. There we go. Something you go to for comfort, whether that's just like a sacred room you have in your place, a video game, I don't know, something you go to for comfort, and it's like it's getting messed with. But the way it's getting messed with doesn't feel maniacal. It's getting messed with. And you have the Tower. Page of Wands at the bottom, though. There's something about this that I feel like it actually is a good thing for you. And even the way it's happening almost feels comedic or almost feels like sitcom like. I don't know another way to explain that. Or like maybe there's kids involved. There's something childlike about how your source of comfort is like getting messed with or like you're not able to have access to it anymore. Susie, thank you for the 19.99. Thank you. Oh, I can't like this one. I don't know why it lets me like some and not others. I don't understand that. But anyway, but the Tower, I feel like it's coinciding with the Tower. some source of comfort in your life you are no longer going to have access to, or it's going to get messed with in some way. But again, there's something about it that feels like there's innocence at play in this. So it's kind of interesting. Let's see how else, what else comes out here for you. Anything else for Taurus? Any other messages or insights for Taurus for this week? Oh. So Taurus. Oh, interesting. Look what's behind the devil, the Ace of Swords. So yeah, Taurus, whatever this comfort is, it actually is not healthy for you, okay? Because the fact that the devil's here and it was like trying to fall out of my hands and the Ace of Swords is right there with the tower shaking you up as an emperor. This source of comfort for some of you may also be part of your foundation, but the fact it's going to get shaken up is going to show you how unhealthy it is for you, actually, how not good for you it is, how toxic it actually is. That is so interesting. Look at that. With the Ace of Cups and then Hangman. Okay. Yeah. So Taurus, whatever's getting shaken up for you, this source of comfort, again, I do feel like it's going to rock you a little bit because the fact that the Emperor is here, it's shaking up your sense of authority. It's shaking up your sense of confidence. Maybe even again, like something foundational, but comfort can be foundational, especially to a Taurus, especially if you're like a Taurus moon or something. But it's like, it's going to make you realize how much of a security blanket that comfort is. And it's also going to show you like proper comfort, healthy nourishment. It's almost like the difference between the Ace of Cups and the devil. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Some of you, the source of comfort, it's almost like I'm getting like light versus false light is almost how this is coming through. Or like love versus like false love. This is really interesting because the Ace of Cups is, to me, it's your heart. It's your heart, it's your soul. It's literally just source and like divinity. And there's truth in that, right? But obviously the Ace of Swords is highlighting this, right? Literally the Ace of Swords is between, gotta put the deck down. The Ace of Swords is between the devil and the Ace of Cups. So when this tower hits you, it's giving me what you thought was the Ace of Cups is actually the devil. That's kind of crazy. But even then, I still feel like there's something childlike about this, and even like innocent, like it's like, or sitcom-y. I don't know, something about it's like kind of comical for some reason, the way this is happening, and maybe like how obvious it's going to be too. I'm gonna leave that on the table. It was the bottom cards. Oh my god, they were on the bottom, but that feels like it needs to stay out. Anything else for Taurus here? Okay, we have Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is coming out for you. Why is the Knight of Wands here for Taurus? Ten of Wands. One more. Yeah, okay. And Temperance. Yeah, this is setting you free. Yeah, look at this. Temperance. This is setting you free, Taurus, because whatever this has been, again, you've been thinking it's been the Ace of Cups. You've been thinking, oh, it's totally for me and I totally love this, or it nourishes me. It really takes care of me. Maybe it's even a relationship. Maybe you thought you loved someone. And it's like, oh shit, they're toxic as fuck. Anyway, whatever it is, it's actually been kind of burdensome to you, but that makes sense if it's actually the devil, right? But with the Knight of Wands, that is a night of freedom. And the fact that Temperance is right here, along with the Tower liberating you from the devil, it's literally like you're going from a really toxic, maybe even stressful and kind of like burdensome aspect of your life that, again, you thought for whatever reason was it for you, was perfect for you, was like so right for you, not all the while realizing how gross it actually made you feel. And once you see the truth, you're free. You're liberated. Some of you may actually get a lot of energy back. And with Temperance being here, there may also be a little bit of like healing and recovery that takes place, but also being guided by spirit as well in all of this. Okay, so something I can't shake. This is gonna be for a very small group of people. Oh, how do I want to say this? How do I want to say this? I don't know if there's any easy way to say this. I just can't shake the feeling that Taurus, for some of you, there's like, it could be a habit like an addiction. Like maybe you think it's self-care, but it really is just a flat out addiction. That could absolutely be the case. But I'll be honest, I am getting something kind of like dark for some of you. And I think that wouldn't be a shocker. I think that'd be confirmation that you've been dealing with somebody and maybe you've had a little yeah, okay, they're saying yes, 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 someone needs to hear this. So very small group of you, I would say maybe a handful of you. This is your confirmation that if you've been having intuitive hits about someone in your life that you thought like there's so much love there, it's so real, it's so this, it's so that, but you couldn't shake a couple things here and there, or your intuition's like, that kind of felt right, but maybe it doesn't feel right. You're going to realize how toxic or fake someone actually is, manipulative someone is, and I'll be honest too, maybe there's a little bit of black magic going on in there too. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. All right, Virgo. Okay. Virgo. Any messages or insights for Virgo for this week? Virgo. Virgo. Any messages or insights for Virgo for this week? Virgo, I'm getting a preoccupied energy with you. Interesting. I got preoccupied and then I got this, which is like the opposite, but I feel like this is almost like, oh, this is why you're preoccupied. Okay. Knight of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles. Virgo, I'm getting like you're a little hyper focused on something, and I feel like some of you guys maybe even be overworking. But the Knight of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles, I feel like you're literally like doing a checks and balances of some plans and some finances and resources. I feel like you're trying to like mitigate something that's like not going according to plan. Yeah, it's like you got a plan, it's not going right. It's not going as expected. And I feel like you're spending a lot of mental energy on this. Some of you may like struggle with a little ADD, but I actually feel like you're starting to get what's the word I'm looking for here? Sometimes when we get hyper focused, how do I want to say this? Even as I'm trying to talk, I keep getting distracted. Sometimes when we get hyper focused, we get really like mentally fatigued. Like our brain literally gets tired, and our like we start getting weird. I don't know. I can't even talk in your energy. Like it becomes hard to think straight. Wow, that was really hard to get out there. It becomes really hard to think straight. I'm getting a little like disassociation starting to happen for some of you because you're so hyper fixated on something. But yeah, this is you trying to like mitigate something, is what I'm getting. It's something that's not going according to plan. Anything else for Virgos? Shock, we don't have any like Eight of Swords or Seven of Cups out here. Anything else for my Virgos? What's going on for Virgo? Okay, that's good. We like that. That's a switch. That's a major switch to the Knight of Cups, because this feels really mental to me. Again, I'm surprised there's no swords out here. This is being very, very fixated on, oh, I just get dizzy, on external matters. There's something going on with you with the mental space. There's something going on in the crown. I just have to keep reiterating it. But when we get very focused on the physical, we get very like out of our bodies. And this says that you're doing a complete 180 almost. You're going from Virgo to Pisces. You're going to the other end of the spectrum here. And I feel like that's actually going to work really well in your favor. Some of you, this is coinciding with the recognition that you do need to shift your intention or the energy you're working from, where it's like working from the mental mind and thinking about and worrying about the physical in terms of logic, and then getting into just how you feel, getting into your intuition and working with your own compass versus trying to like control things on the external here. Okay. Anything else for Virgo? Oh, you're total. It's like, yeah, this is a complete extreme shift, which by the way, I will say here really quickly, when Mercury goes into Taurus and starts to square off not Pisces, Pluto, starts to square off Pluto and then starts to oppose Lilith, we can get extremes of thoughts, like going from one end to the other. And I'm totally seeing that here with you. Because look, you go from being hyper fixated about external things and physical plane things, material things, being really up in the head, to totally just trusting, to total surrender fall into your intuition and into your heart, and just letting go and letting God and just going with what feels right in your compass. The moon, I keep getting like unknown is what I keep getting. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You're just trusting the process. So 180 here on for you. Anything else for Virgo? I think this is exactly what's needed. Honestly, I think this is exactly what's needed for you. One more for Virgo. Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't let that scare you. It scared me a little when it came out too, but don't let it don't let it scare you. It is what's needed. Okay. Full moon Scorpio, opposing Uranus. The overall messages for earth signs is all about a positive change. This is a 180 of a shift. Look, Pentacles like water. It's a complete 180 for you. Okay. And yeah, you don't really know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is a massive change. What's going to happen is some sort of ending. I don't feel pain here. Some of you, there could be some pain involved in this. But when you just surrender and trust fall like that and go from one extreme to the other in terms of where you are, how you're operating, your intentions, your focus, something will close. Something will, I want to say fall, but it feels like it's for the positive. It feels like it's actually going to put things in place in alignment where they need to be for you, because whatever you were doing over here wasn't working. It wasn't budging, which I think is also why it was feeling, it probably made you feel a little crazy for some of you. I just keep getting 8 of Swords here and like just so much going on in the mind here. There's a reason that was not budging, being in this kind of state of mind. And the second you shift into this, suddenly massive change. It may be a little scary at first, but it is going to put things in alignment and put things into a positive direction for you. Okay. Putting your faith in the hands of spirit, essentially. Capricorn. Cappies. What's going on for my Cappies? Any messages or insights for Capricorn? Capricorn. Any messages or insights for Capricorn? Hold on. I will say the 4 of Wands flipped, but it doesn't feel right. If it comes out again, it comes out again. But just letting you know that that card did come out. Capricorn. What's going on for my Cappies? Oh, tale as old as time. Capricorn, can you let go of control? Can you? Can you? Can you let yourself stop? Stop putting energy into something? Stop fixating on something? It's fun a little bit like Virgos, actually. But I feel like well, actually, I guess both of those are about control. Capricorn. Thank you, Alejandra. I see you. I see you. Thank you. Capricorn. Any messages or insights from my Capricorns? What's going on for Capricorns this week? Capricorn, there's something very, very silently loud about your energy. I don't know how to explain that. Like when like there's like some sort of intensity going on in a situation or in a room, it's like quiet, but that quiet is so loud. That's what I'm getting with you. I feel like there's a very loud truth here. This may be the greatness in your face, right? There's a very loud truth happening around you. I'm wondering how open you're going to be to it. Any messages or insights for Capricorn? Oh, that's too many. Yeah, even the way the cards are being with you, Capricorn, it's like I feel like there's a loud truth, and you're like, I think you're trying to digest it, but I do think it's kind of like it's a lot to kind of like take in. It's a good one though. 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. There's that truth. Hold on one second. Okay. All right, cool. There we go. All right, coming back. Cappies, Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. I got it late. It's okay, Alejandra. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You busy. You're like you're keeping everybody updated on what readings are at, like where we're at in the reading. So I appreciate you. Don't worry about it. You're cool. Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. This loud truth has to do with your Ten of Pentacles. This has to do with either your job, your family, your household, your future, your legacy, the vision of how you want to live your life. It's a very loud truth. It's a very big truth. And this is why you're taking your time with it, because this is something that is about the entirety of your life. The way you live it now, the way you have lived it, the way you can live it. It's big. The Ten of Pentacles is big. That's not a small thing to have some loud truth about, okay? Hold on, let me move the mouse here. There we go. Anything else for Capricorn? And like I said, this like it's positive. It's like it just feels like it's really hitting you, and it's just like, ooh, it's a lot. I actually feel like it's affecting your heart space quite a bit. Some of you may realize a move is in order. Some of you may realize a career change is in order. Some of you may get news of a family addition. Congratulations, if that's the case. Fur baby or human baby. Or partner or otherwise. Some of you, there may be a shift in your family dynamics. Like I'm almost getting like family moving. Maybe you have a family member moving in with you. Maybe you're doing the homestead thing. I don't know. But there's a really, really big, loud truth of what is best for you in terms of literally how you live your life in this like generational way. Okay. Family, housing, career, that sort of stuff. Big, big stuff. Anything else for Capricorn? Yeah, I feel like some of y'all are going to find out about a pregnancy. Just putting it out there. However you feel about that. Not my business to know. Anything else for Capricorn? Ooh, that devil's really enjoying coming out. Yeah, look at you. Queen of Pentacles. The queen to the, like literally the queen that belongs to the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is the kingdom where the queen sits and the kingdom that the queen takes care of. This is all about you and legacy. Let's just chop it up to legacy, because we know that involves family. We know that involves career. We know that involves, how you decide to set up your life in the long term. We know that that's what that means. The container of your life and, within the span of decades. So this is all about you, Capricorn, and what truth you're realizing about this, about your life in this way. Some of you guys are going to find out about a pregnancy. I can't shake it. Devil on the bottom. Oh, we like it. We like it with the Six of Swords. Okay, just still kind of tossing with that truth. We're probably going to see Ace of Swords and the Devil come out a lot this week in readings, just probably across YouTube, even in your own personal readings, because that is like literally the nature of the astrology, right? Greatness and the light and the truth of that, and highlighting what is not aligned with that, which would be the devil. Okay. So, and this is also your card. Not to say that it's like, you know what I'm trying to say with all this stuff, but it's going to be clear for you, Capricorn, what to move away from and what to embrace. Anything else for my Capricorns? If this is news that you get, or it's like, whether it's an insight or like someone tells you something, you find out something, I wouldn't be surprised if you take a few days in silence. Like, this is like how overwhelming it may be for some of you. And again, not in a bad way. I feel like this is literally leading to really, really great things for you. It just touches a lot of your life. Oh, so I'm not taking it because it's like it came with a bunch of cards, but I will take the top card because like that's the card Spirit wanted me to see. Yeah, Two of Cups. This is about you and other people. This is like, it is about you and your life, but the Ten of Pentacles encompasses everything your life touches and who it touches. Family, work, otherwise. Mm-hmm. Okay, one final card, because Capricorn, I can tell you don't want to talk about this. I can tell you that I don't want to talk about this. Can I get one more for Capricorn, please? Ooh, I kind of want to pull cards on that for you. Seven of Swords, and the Devil is still at the bottom. We're gonna pull one more on the Seven of Swords, okay? Because like, well, they said you don't have to. They just okay, thank you. They just gave it to me. You're gonna need some time with this, Cappies, and here's why. Because Seven of Swords doesn't always have to be like bullshit and shady shit and thievery and lies and deception, but it can be how we slow things down for ourselves. It can be how we can trip ourselves up. And remember, you did have the Six of Swords. It showed up, and that is between the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So you may need some time because there may be some things that come up within you, probably emotions, that go, scary, no. I don't know. Ah, oh no, overwhelm, whatever. However, that comes up within you. I keep getting there's something about letting go of control here. And again, I know not everyone's gonna find out about a family edition. I just can't shake that it's that kind of like energy too, of like, oh, this changes everything, right? Oh, this completely takes some things out of my hands or out of my control. And like when we deal with other people, that's usually the case anyway, whether it's a family edition or not, right? Because when there's like another person involved, whether it's a friend, a coworker, a family member, there's like 50% of what's going on that has nothing to do with you, right? That you have pretty much no say over, right? Yeah, there's something about control here. But that's what I'm getting with the Seven of Swords. It's like there may be a moment here where you're like, you kind of trip up on the truth of accepting it, embracing it, digesting it. I really want to say digesting it. Yeah, Six of Swords is still, but the Devil here. So this is really positive. I feel like you're just gonna need some time with this. Okay. Oh, air and water. Who are we going with first? Air or water? Both of you feel really weird. Just being honest. We're gonna go with air. We're gonna go with air, but both of you guys feel a little strange. I can't like put my finger on it. Um, both of you kind of feel like you're here and you're not here. Both you and water signs. Yeah, you're here, but you're not here. So let's go ahead and do the animals here. Can I get an animal card for my air signs? What's going on for air for this week? Can I get a card for my air signs? Ooh, that's a nice card for you guys. And it is your element, Nightingale. So this is talking, this is speaking up. This is also singing, music, poetry, but it is the power of the voice, which is like perfect for you. On the bottom, I will say we have fire ants, and I did see tarantula trying to poke out a little bit. So air signs, I do feel like this week, oh, how do I want to say this? Oh, how do I want to say this? Um, because even right before this card came out, I was gonna say something, and then this card came out and kind of distracted me. Um, I was kind of getting that there may be a little bit of battle of truth here for you this week. However, that comes up for you. And I do feel like most of you, it is about recognizing that there are a lot of different ways of looking at truth. There are a lot of different levels and facets of truth, and that there may be something that you may be encouraged to be open-minded about. Okay. Um, I'm getting a little bit of a stubbornness there, but Mercury and Taurus, that will bring out stubbornness in anybody, regardless of your sign. But Nightingale, I do think you're doing a lot of talking. You're doing a lot of talking. You're doing a lot of sharing of truth, whether someone's ready to hear it or not. Fire Ant can be like combative, like Five of Wands energy. So you may find yourself in the middle of arguments, but I want to say, like, it's more about being open-minded. It's more about being open-minded. And you don't have to be right. That's coming through too. Is anyone really right in certain contexts of certain conversations? Everyone can be right in certain topics of conversations. There's just something kind of combative here on your end or someone else's end or both of you. And it is like a fight for truth or a battle for truth, but I want to say everyone's right in the situation is kind of what I'm feeling. So let's just go ahead and pull some cards, okay? All right, starting with Gemini. Okay. Gemini. Any messages or insights for Gemini for this week? What's going on for Gemmy Gems? Yeah, this is like the weirdest energy because it's like it's kind of what I was getting before. Like you're here, but you're not here. I'm getting like I can feel there's a lot being said and there's a lot of silence at the same time. So it's like maybe the energy is like speaking for itself with between you and other people right now. Oh, maybe there's some telepathy going on for some of you guys. Gemini. Any messages or insights for Gemini for this week? This is going to come out for everybody, I swear. This is the card of the week, Ace of Swords. So we knew there's some sharing of information and thoughts and some truth. We knew that. Some big light bulb moments this week for everybody. We knew that. Okay. I am so happy I don't have a lot of air in my chart this week. It just I can feel the intensity of exchanges, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to be in that conversation. Ace of Swords and the Two of Cups. So yeah, there's some going on with you and other people right now. And truth is truth. I really like I think it's gonna be the same for all air signs, but we'll see. Truth is truth, no matter how right or wrong you think you are or someone else is. It's like truth is truth. Um Some people are going to have some humbling moments here. You or other people. Anything else for Gemini? It's shared though. I like they're really being like about this. It's truth across both lines. It's not just from one person. It's like it's interesting. A shared truth between you and another person. And you can either accept it or not. Oh, you can either accept it or not. Okay, Gemini. Like, for example, this isn't the best example because I actually feel like there's something almost like bonding you and somebody, tying you and somebody together. It's actually reminding me of the Capricorn reading a little bit. Um, no matter what you have to say about it or they have to say about it, there is some sort of undeniable truth here, no matter how much you want to accept it or don't want to accept it. So, for example, like bad example, but the only one I can think of, like if there's a pregnancy, right? It doesn't really matter how you like, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what they say. There's a pregnancy. That doesn't change anything. Right? Right? It's like that's probably a good example. Um, or like no matter like what you're saying to somebody and someone else is like saying to you, if it's very obvious, like there's a dysfunction, right? There's a dysfunction. It doesn't matter how right or wrong you think you are. There's a dysfunction and it's going to be there until it gets resolved, right? So that's a good example. Okay. Gemini. Anything else for Gemini? 9 of Wands. I don't know. I'm so nervous in your energy. 9 of Wands being here. 9 of Wands is like, I'm getting a little bit of just fatigue here. Also, the 9 of Wands comes out when there's like defensiveness going on or a need to fight or desire to fight, or there's already been a lot of fight. It's kind of heavy. It's kind of dense. It's just like, it's a weighed down energy. It has this feeling like someone's not backing down. Anything else for Gemini? Seven of Cups in the World. So, Gemini, regardless of who this is in your life, you want out is what I'm gathering here. You want to be free from this situation. You don't want to deal with this person anymore. You don't want to deal with what has come of you and this person. The 9 of Wands and the 7 of Cups, I just feel like a lot of fatigue and a lot of drain. Like a lot. Like 9 of Wands is you're physically tired. 7 of Cups is you're getting emotionally or even mentally overwhelmed. The 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, there's a 5 of Cups energy there as well, which this situation has probably also left you feeling not so great and kind of probably sad. And it's just undeniable. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what you say. Your feelings are telling you everything. Your body's telling you. Your energy's telling you. Your emotions are telling you. And the world being here, it's just very clear that like I want to say that the curtain needs to be drawn or not drawn, lifted, pulled, dropped, whatever, dropped. The curtain needs to be dropped, and you can just drop the curtain or not. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Libra. That one feels pretty clear. Let's move on to Libra. Libras. What's going on for my Libras? Any messages or insights for Libra? For this week? Did you guys hear that too? I swore I heard something. It was so quick though. Okay, if you guys heard anything auditory, please let me know. It sounded like a voice. Libra. What's going on for Libra this week? Libra. So we have 7 of Cups and Strength. I'm hearing I can figure this out. That's what I'm hearing. I can figure this out. I can figure this out. I can figure this out. Some of you are actually getting overwhelmed by fantasy. Well, not overwhelmed. I'm not going to say overwhelmed. Some of you have I'm getting a lot of different things here. But Libra, some of you, there's some fantasies that are taking place and you're trying to get a grip. Trying to get a grip with yourself. But others of you, it's just I feel like there's a fogginess, you almost can't see your way through something. For those, okay. Yeah, for those where it's not like a fantasy kind of a thing, and it's just kind of try not to let your fantasies get, run away with you, so to speak. Some of you, I'm almost getting this fogginess, you literally can't see your way out of a situation, or you're trying to, and I'm getting just a little bit of feeling doubtful, feeling a little doubtful, not really believing in yourself, but you're trying to. I feel like you're fighting it. You're fighting it though. You're trying to fight it for those where that applies. Maybe even amping yourself up. No, I can figure this out. I know how to get out of this. I know how to navigate this. I can handle this. I'm Libra. I can handle this. Yeah, interesting. Anything else for Libra? Yeah, okay. Libra, you're going to be fine. Libra, you're going to be totally fine. Look at that. Star card and Ace of Pentacles. Wait, lots of scary negative, not watching. Bye. 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 Anyway, sorry. Again, feeling a little sassy today. The Star card and the Ace of Pentacles. So Libra, everything is going to work out just fine. I think whatever you're doing in the Strength card here, however you are balancing yourself, however you're maintaining yourself, however you are amping up your confidence, being your own cheerleader. Because some of you, again, it's there's a lot of fantasy and you're just trying to stay grounded. Some of you, it's there's a fogginess and you're you're really doubting yourself a lot and you're trying really hard to keep yourself in alignment here. You're gonna be fine. The Star card and the Ace of Pentacles, some of you, this is a new beginning. Some of this is a new opportunity. Some of you, there's a financial thing here, but there is this finding your footing of clarity and stability. And it almost feels like some of you, this is an elevated timeline or an elevated situation or an elevated path. I say that because the Star speaks of that. Star can be wish fulfillment. But the Ace of Pentacles is also my personal ace for reaching a new experience of elevation or upgrade, because it is leaving the garden, going up the mountains, right? Excuse me. Let's get one other card here for you. Can I get one more, please, for Libra? Yeah. Oh, Libra. Oh, I'm excited for you. So after the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles. Whatever this is, momentum is going to build really fast on it. Some of you, there's going to be some people that you're going to be working with or working on something with together. Some of you, there's new friends coming in, or even a new work situation for some of you. There's a renewed energy here and it feels really good. And I just am getting, it's it's building upon itself very quickly. So just hang in there. Hang in there. It's working out great. The other thing I want to say. Oh, my throat. The other thing I want to say is sometimes when things are about to get really, really good, really good, that's when things can feel the most uncertain. Sometimes that's when things get the most dense right before the blessing, so to speak. Some of you, this is a blessing. Ace of Pentacles on the Star explicitly in tarot is a blessed gift or reward of some kind or a wish coming true. So it's a good time to be a Libra, just saying. All right, let's move into Aquarius. And it's 1:44 here. Oh, cool. Nice. Oh, timestamp before I get too distracted. Aquarius. Any messages or insights for Aquarius? So far, the fixed signs have been a little rough. So I'm kind of curious, Aqua, what's coming up for you, especially since Pluto is in your sign, and we know will be for quite some time. And when Pluto was in Capricorn, I know Cappies were going through it. Aqua, what's going on for Aqua? Even in your energy, I feel the need to like take more time with you. You may feel the need to slow down. You may feel the need to take your time with something more than usual. Aquarius, what's going on for Aquarius? They're showing me the death card. We'll see if it comes out. Aquarius. Ooh. Well, that bodes well. So your own card is coming out here with the star. Enlightenment, healing, wish fulfillment, blessings. We love seeing the star card, especially the first one out here. Okay. So it's looking pretty promising. What else is coming out for Aquarius? I am getting gratitude here. Interesting. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. So we'll get into this, but gratitude is going to be a very quick way to embrace that star energy. I feel like it actually is just gratitude in and of itself, in the way that I'm feeling it in your energy. I think taking some time to slow life down a little bit, to practice moments of presence and gratitude, is part of this for you. It's like leaning into that Pisces stellium, right? The 4 of Pentacles, though, I actually feel like this is alleviating. Something about the 4 of Pentacles I feel like is getting loose, almost like it wants to be in reverse, which I think is actually really great here, because I feel like there's a slow opening that you are intentionally experiencing. Like you're intentionally making it happen. Excuse me. Where you're slowly relaxing, you're slowing down, you're letting go a little bit, you're trying to enjoy more. It's like it's a very, very slow letting your grip go when it comes to something in your life. Some of you guys can be worried about finances as well. But I feel like you're letting go of control. It's just slow. It's slow, but it's working nicely for you. You're slowly trusting. That's really what it is. You're slowly trusting. Anything else for Aquarius? Oh, you're slowly trusting. Aqua, some of you, this slow trust is happening because you're actually going through something with your heart space. 4 of Pentacles is my closed heart chakra card. And then with Temperance coming out here, Temperance is a healing vibration, as is the star. But Temperance is soothing. It's slow. It's patient. I'm hearing compassionate. It's also angelic. And it feels like you're able to trust more because your heart is opening a little bit more. Your heart is healing a little more. Your heart is getting soothed a little more. And they keep saying little, 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 little. So some of you guys, this may have started a while ago, but this like slow progress, it's like it's going to build into something very tangible and very like obvious, right? Anything else for Aquarius? Gentle is a key word here. Some of you are learning how to be in a gentle state with yourself, what that even means, like to take gentle action, to even like when you're like out and about, even like walking in a slower pace, a more leisurely, calm, soothing pace. There's something about just like gentility here. Okay. Anything else for my Aquas? Ooh. Okay, we got to clarify that with the Fool. So after this like slow, gentle, trust, heart healing, heart opening, you move into the Fool, and that doesn't feel slow. So I'm curious here. For those who are unfamiliar, the Fool is it can be moving into a new beginning. It can be just moving forward fearlessly, right? It's a card of major trust, major leap of faith here. Tell me about the Fool. Yeah, and the Five of Pentacles. So I almost called you Leo for a second. Maybe got Leo in your chart. Aquas, I feel like you're getting prepared for this jump. You're getting prepared for this specific leap with the Fool. And I want to say Spirit is all over your butt trying to get you ready for this, but they're being so gentle with you, which I like. I love that. There's something so sweet about that. Um, yeah, there's something just really sweet about that. So you're having this like gentle preparation, this gentle softening, this gentle building of trust, if you will, to make some sort of massive leap. And whatever this leap is, you're abandoning the Five of Pentacles, or you're abandoning anyone, anything, um, thought forms, habits, environments, etc. That actually, it's interesting that make you not want to. I just got a couple things, so I just want to word it right. Right. You're leaving behind any of these things that actually feel very harsh. Okay. Like being out in the cold by yourself when everyone else is like warm and fuzzy. It's like, or you are needing to take a leap of faith away from anyone, anything that is fear-based, right? It's like abandoning your fear. It's abandoning your fear. It's abandoning harshness. Some of you, it's abandoning thought forms around security, financial security, which also says financial scarcity, right? Some of you, that's a big thing here. But it's happening slowly. It's happening really slowly. Can I get one other card for Aqua, and then we'll go into water signs? Ooh, yeah. Wow. And the Five of Swords. Oh, I just got really nauseous in your energy, Aqua, for some reason. There could be something going on with their solar plexus. The Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles there, this is, again, what you are abandoning, what you're leaping away from, which means you're leaping into, I want to say the opposite. It's like, this is really harsh. Five of Pentacles and Five of Swords, that's harsh on harsh, okay? Some of you, there could also be people that just wanted to fight you, stuck in their ego, whatever, maybe even, parts of your own ego that you needed to kind of sit with and heal and like be soothed over, right? But again, just reiterating here, anything that has to do with harshness or fighting, struggling, surviving, fear-based, scarcity, anything, you're just like you're taking a leap away from it by leaping into trust. But you're really getting, eased into trust. But once you're there, you can leap away from anything that's like that. Oh, and anyone who wants to keep you there. That just like a little bit of shackles. Yeah, and anyone who wants to keep you in that state. It's almost like, yeah, some of you have been dealing with people who want to keep you disempowered, who want to keep you scared, who want to keep you in a state of survival. It's like some of you, there may be people around you or a person that's been like maybe talking a lot about like the economic turmoil, which, there's nothing wrong with talking about it. It is happening, but there's a line between talking about it and then like scaring people about it, right? Like intentionally scaring people about it, or like having it be the only thing you talk about, right? There's a line. There's a line there. I'm getting something about dependency. It's like, yeah. Oh, like people or environments that just want to keep you stuck, just want to keep you down, want to keep you questioning, want to keep you scared, want to keep you scared. We don't do that. No. But it looks like you're handling that well, Aqua. All right, let's get into water signs. Okay. Oh. All right, water signs. What's going on for my water signs this week? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What's going on for water signs this week? Some of you guys are working with dragons or snakes. That particular group lineage is just coming up pretty prominently. Cancer, sea serpent, Ashlesha is coming up as well to be referenced. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh, you get a snake. Water signs, Cobra. Okay, water signs. Why do we have Cobra here? Well, I want another one. I want another one for my water signs. Why is Cobra here for my water signs? Something about it feels ominous. Ooh. Okay. Okay. We have the Crow. It just, every time this Cobra card comes out, I just feel like, ooh, I just feel pressure. But Crow is a card of magic and alchemy. Crow is also a divine messenger. I am getting the word secrets, water signs. I'm getting the word secrets. So like while I feel like this week is not necessarily about shadow work, I do feel like you are feeling this pressure, even inclination to yeah, to look at hidden things is what I want to say. Yeah, to look at hidden things. So while I don't feel like shadow work is a thing this week, water signs, it might be for you. Um, yeah, even with like the orb, sometimes with the crow, I do feel like there's something being retrieved to be delivered, right? Again, divine messenger here, or even like something that we can hold on to like alchemize or work with. But yeah, I feel like you're being encouraged or inclined to go really deep within and to look at hidden things. Secrets is the word that keeps coming through. Secrets doesn't have to be just like the things that people keep from us, could even be things that we keep from ourselves. And you're being asked to go there, to sit there. Some of you may feel like you need to take some time, um, just really with yourself. Yeah, just really with yourself. I'm also getting like a little break from like noise. Like some of you may decide to like take a social media break, for example, or like, no TV for the week or, or the weekend, something like that. There's something about just like kind of just sit in where hidden things lie, which is the void. Sit where hidden things lie. Sit where hidden things lie. Meh. Okay. Cancer. It's feeling very scorpionic, I can't lie. Oh, Cancer. What does this mean for Cancer? For Cancer for this week? Cancer, I'm immediately drawn to your heart space though, which I do love that for you. It almost feels like you're having this like summery energy in the heart. So that's really nice. So I'm curious how this is going to come up for you. Oh, maybe that's just what it is. Maybe you will be achieving some sort of like radiance of your heart space by whatever you retrieve from the hidden things. It's giving me childlike. It's giving me 6 of Cups vibes. Cancer, any messages or insights for Cancer? Some of you are planning a trip, Cancer, maybe for your birthday. I am getting July, which is your your birthday season. Cancer. Any messages or insights for Cancers, please? Okay. Cancer, we have 6 of Wands, Jupiter, Leo energy. This is victory. This is triumph. This is promotions. This is accolades. This is attention. Chariot, your card on the bottom. Yeah, some of you guys are going to be traveling this week or planning a trip because that was coming through strongly even before this card came out. You're being seen. It's giving me like summer Leo vibes. You're being seen in something in some way. It's not just movement. You're being witnessed. Maybe you're showing something even. What is this energy for Cancer? Oh, okay. 6 of Wands, 8 of Cups, and the 3 of Swords. You have very successfully, you can say healed something or let a grievance go, a pain point go. But I want to say you've captured the sun. I can't get away from this feeling of Leo and summer and July and like the actual sun and the radiance of the sun. I can't get away from this feeling like, and it's all in the heart space with the 3 of Swords as well. Yeah, it's like you're replacing something in your heart space with the energy of the sun, and it's magnetic, and it's radiant, and it's joyful, and people can see it. They can see it. They can like I wanna say they can physically see it on you. Not and maybe some people obviously can like, see auras, but I mean, like, they may say that, like, something like maybe your face has changed or something about you is different, like, that's just kinda what I'm getting with you, Cancer. Interesting. Okay. Can I get a card for the Three of Swords? Let's see what this pain point is about for my Cancers. Three of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, that feels like insecurity. Ooh, 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 ow. Ow, with the Ten of Swords, there's a Seven of Swords energy there. So Cancer, I'm getting whatever this is. It's like I'm getting a couple things. I am getting some sense of insecurity that you are overcoming. You are successfully overcoming and being done away with here. But something else that I'm getting is like, I know that how this is going to sound, but like, this is how it wants to be communicated. People who have undermined your confidence, people who have like made you doubt yourself, experiences that, yeah, made you lose a step is what I'm hearing too. How you lost a step, how you lost a footing or lost your confidence. But I want to say intentional with the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Swords being there as well. This can be related to one particular person or just like a theme or a pattern or just some like feelings or again, pain points or soul scars, as we talked about in terms of Chiron energy. And you are successfully doing away with this. Some of you, this is also, thank you. This is why it's about the sun, because this is affecting your solar plexus, because this is rooted in your belief of self and your self-esteem. Yeah, and confidence. This is why it's like you have literally, when you go to the realm of hidden things, yeah, you're confronting that in the realm of hidden things, but you're actually like retrieving the sun out of the hidden things as well. You're retrieving your own sun energy. Oh, there we go. You're reclaiming your sun. You're reclaiming your essence, your radiance, but it's yours. And it is the power of the sun. It is the power of Leo, regardless of your chart, because it's the power of your solar plexus. It's your power. And that's what you're retrieving out of the realm of hidden things. I don't know why they keep wanting me to say it that way. It's just they want me to say it. Can I get a card for the Eight of Cups, please? Oh, okay. Let's play a fun game. If we ever got two cards in tarot that represented a realm of hidden things, what would they be? I'm curious. I'm sure I don't know if you guys actually saw it on the screen, but two tarot cards together representing the realm of hidden things, what would they be? I'll wait. I'll wait for someone to play with me. Sun and moon. Okay. Oh, actually, that would make sense. That would make sense. Oh, it's a powerful combination. The moon. Two cards. Two cards. Oh, moon and high priestess. That would be a good one too. Those would be good. That'd be a good combo. Okay, I'll take one more and then we'll progress. One that hasn't been said already. One more. Hermit and high priestess. Yeah. Okay, I can see that too. All right. Ready? Moon and death. The moon being, right, the subconscious, the psyche, even like when we go into the realms, right? But death, underworld energy, also where things die and things are reborn, where we let go and where we retrieve and receive things in the void. So, like, quite literally, just, honing in on exactly just what I'm sharing with you guys here in your reading. So, yeah, go to the realm of hidden things and retrieving the sun for yourself. Yeah, so beautiful, Cancer. I mean, that feels very complete. Um, wow. This, like, yeah, just wow. Sometimes when you have the moon in death, this can also be a very deep, deep transformation of the psyche or even just your emotions or just, on a soul level as well. So Cancer, this is no small feat, and maybe you've already been doing this, but the full moon in Scorpio, also I just realized moon with death, that is full moon Scorpio energy, is clearly helping you with this as well. All right, Scorpio. Whew. Scorpio, with your full moon coming up here. Any messages or insights for Scorpio, please? What's going on for Scorpio for this week? Any messages or insights for Scorpio? Let's see here. Whoa! Not what I expected, but we like. You're the only one to get this card. We have the Wheel of Fortune as your first card, Scorpio. Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Wow. So Scorpio, there's a change coming in your life and it's just time for it. When the Wheel of Fortune comes out, that's Jupiter, that's divine timing. It's also fate is coming in to deliver an Ace of Pentacles. And here's you as the High Priestess, and here's you receiving it. Some of you, this Ace of Pentacles is very earthly plane, though. Like Ace of Pentacles is like a very real, tangible something, change, opportunity coming into your life. But the fact that you're here as the High Priestess, maybe there's a party that knows it's coming, maybe have even anticipated it coming. But it's kind of strange because with the Pentacle coming in, it's weird. I'm getting this like, I don't think you're going to miss it. I don't think you can miss it with the Wheel of Fortune and you being the High Priestess. But there is something strange about it where I feel like dimensionally, it's like it's coming here and you're like kind of over here. Like there's something about it that like it's hard to bridge for some reason. It's happening. It's absolutely happening. I can't shake this feeling like it's hard for you to actually connect with it. You're meant to connect with whatever this ace is. But there's something that feels like it's not landing smooth. It's coming in on a rocky landing. Anything else for Scorpio? Yeah, you got the Hanged Man on the High Priestess. So Scorpio, here's what's weird about this, because I kind of feel like you're off in the realms, which was kind of the go-to advice for water signs. You're totally in the realms here. But this is in the physical reality. So this might be why it's hard to bridge, because you actually may need to like recognize, oh, I just got really dizzy. When you need to recognize, when you need to come out of this space to meet it. I feel like it's coming to you. I don't feel like it's coming out of you. I feel like you're busy in the realms almost with other things, or you're busy like just being within yourself. Yeah, there's like I can't shake this feeling of like 80% of the time you're like you're dealing with spiritual non-physical matters, and 20% of the time you're dealing with physical matters when you need to be like 50-50. It's kind of how this is feeling. Anything else for Scorpio? Yeah, we got 7 of Wands, and that's coming on the Wheel of Fortune. Scorpio, this is really strange. Because I keep getting this like resistance. I don't think you're creating it. I think it's just like an energetic thing. It's like something about it is not smooth, which is very strange for the Wheel of Fortune to be here. Why is the 7 of Wands here with the Wheel of Fortune? Three of Wands. You have been expecting this. You have been expecting this. And the 3 of Wands with the 7 of Wands, there's a 4 of Wands energy here. You have been anticipating this Ace of Pentacles, and you've been anticipating that it's going to correlate with some sort of stability or opportunity, even a relationship, but to offer more stability in your life, potentially more abundance in your life. You have been waiting for this. Again, I don't think you can miss it, but I do feel like it's not it's like you're not connecting with it. I'm talking about the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles. You feel like you've missed the boat. I don't think you have. But for some reason, there's a strange not clicking in so easily. Even with the Ace of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, there's a 4 of Pentacles here. Can I get another card for Scorpio? This is just bizarre. I don't think I've ever had a reading like this. Give me advice for Scorpio. Just like card or two for just advice for the situation for Scorpio. Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting because it's the earthly plane. Stay focused. Stay focused. Take care of everyday things is kind of what I'm getting there. Take care of yourself. What else with the Queen of Pentacles for advice for Scorpio? You got two more here. This is weird. So we have Queen of Pentacles and King of Cups. This is your advice. Capricorn, Scorpio energy. You are the King of Cups. You are the Queen of Pentacles. Like the advice is to stay open, stay in your heart, but also take care of yourself. You know, stay on top of things. I'm hearing take care of business, like wrap things up. So maybe there are things in your life that you're trying to like seal off or something, like cross your T's, dot your I's, like contracts or just like, you know, cleaning house, whatever. It's like I am getting that a little bit. Like just make sure you're handling your responsibilities, but stay in your heart, stay aware, stay open and stay receptive, but take care of yourself and also take care of things that need to be resolved is what I'm hearing there. But then we got this. The Queen of Swords and the Nine of Wands. It's like this is giving me being like this is giving me like be putting too much energy into something. Nine of Wands is like struggling. Nine of Wands is like you're putting it in, you're putting it in, you're putting it in. It's hard work. The Nine of Wands is hard work energy. I feel like Scorpio, you guys may be focused on hard work or you may be focused on like what's requiring a lot of you. This feels extra. I don't know. Something about this feels extra. Something about this feels like you may be doing too much in some way. And even when I was over here, I was like, there's something that doesn't feel balanced between your physical and non-physical. Like it feels like your non-physical is like 80%, while your physical is like 20%. But then here you're like, you know, contemplating hard work, hard work, hard work. So there is something kind of imbalanced in your energy. And even this advice is get in your masculine, get in your feminine. Take care of everyday things, take care of the body, but even like in your masculine sense, make sure you're in your heart, make sure you're in your compass, get balanced with the physical and the non-physical. So that's the advice that Scorpio, this is a really weird reading. I don't know what else to make of this. I don't feel like you've missed anything, but I think you think that. I think you think that. Because this is something you've been anticipating. And I think if you just get balanced here in the physical and non-physical and the ways that came through, I think you'll be fine. Yeah. Interesting. Pisces. Last but not least. Ooh, Scorpio, you guys kind of took it out of me. Pisces. Any messages or insights for Pisces for this week? For Pisces. What's going on for Pisces for this week? Ooh, Pisces, I get dazily with you. Pisces. Any messages or insights for Pisces? Three of Swords for my fishies. Okay. Why is the Three of Swords? Sorry, Pisces. Scorpio is pulling on the energy a lot. So maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio. You could have Scorpio in your chart, but like Scorpio's pulling in your reading, just and it's distracting me. I'm just sharing that with you. Sorry. Interesting. Maybe confirmation. Also 515. It's 5:15. After I was saying that about Scorpio and pulling on your energy. So Pisces, I'm wondering, maybe there's a bond of some sort that you may have with somebody. Maybe a Scorpio, maybe not. Just when Scorpio may be highlighting it, and maybe they're pulling on you. Maybe you're feeling them, or vice versa. Be aware if that's the case. I feel like that was not a coincidence. Again, 515 on 55 during your reading saying that. Pisces. Any other messages or insights for Pisces? Pisces, you're feeling something and you don't know what I feel like you don't know what to make of it and you don't know how to resolve it, which is kind of interesting. Three of Swords can sometimes be just discomfort, but I'm feeling like it's actual pain. I feel like it's actual emotional pain. And it almost has this feeling of like being in a rock but being between a rock and a hard place and you don't know what to do with it. But some of you got someone pulling on your energy and it's not your feelings, but you may be just an empath and you're feeling them. Okay. Again, that can be vice versa. Anything else for Pisces? Any other messages or insights for Pisces? Oh, okay. Pisces, now you have the Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. That's really interesting. So you go from the 3 to the 4 and the 7 to the 8. Excuse me. So you don't really know what to do about it. So you're going to go and try to figure out what to do about it. Excuse me. I feel like this is you literally going into your own little space and either getting a plan of action in order or literally trying to like put in energy and work in your own bubble, in your own energy to try to find some sort of balance here, okay, with whatever this pain is that you're experiencing. Some of you, this pain can also be a little bit of guilt potentially. It's just this feeling like something is not right in your world. I'll put it that way. It's a feeling like something is not right in your world, whether it's about a relationship or a plan, a plan or a goal that you got going on. But it feels like pain. They're being very clear about that. It's pain. So this is you trying to figure out, okay, let me tackle this. Let me really see how I can tackle this. I don't need to be confused about it. I can just try to tackle it. Anything else for Pisces? Any other messages or insights for Pisces? Okay. Queen of Swords, lots of air in your reading, Pisces. It's almost like you're an air sign. Queen of Swords coming out. This is you, right? Being discerning, being intelligent, and figuring it out. It's a very clear-cut reading. What's coming in next to the Queen of Swords for Pisces? Interesting. Oh, we can get another card on this. Now we have the Fool. So you go from feeling like something is not right in your world and feeling like actual heartache over it, that something is not right. Something needs to be balanced or calibrated, whether that's something in a relationship or work or finances, whatever it is. And again, some of you, if there's a relationship at play and like you're feeling like painful feelings about somebody, they could be potentially pulling on your energy. It just came through as a channeling before if you're coming in just now. Okay. But this is you like not feeling good about it. This is you going into your space to figure out how to deal with it, figuring out how to rectify balance. And your solution is the Fool. It's giving me wild abandon a little bit. But that's what we're going to clarify. What is coinciding with the Fool? What is coinciding with the Fool for Pisces? Oh, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, okay, so there's some sort of liberation from this experience. We're going to get a little more into this. We have the Lovers with 6 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is definitely a card of like freedom and a little bit of that wild abandon. But Lovers is making a decision that is right with your spirit, okay? And being victorious with it with the 6 of Wands. So whatever your solution is, that's what it involves. But I think we're going to get more answers by looking at the 3 of Swords. Tell me about the 3 of Swords. What is the source of pain here for Pisces? What is the source of pain here? You and Scorpio, man, you guys got weird readings today. And we have the Emperor. I see it. Hold on. So the thing that's not right in your world, again, watch the Scorpio reading. You and Scorpio got something going on here. Whatever's not right in your world is a change around Emperor energy. Whether this is your own energy or someone else's, this is a general reading, but it's some sort of change that has been out of your control. Okay. For some of you, this change has put someone else in a power position. Some of you, this change has shifted your connection to your sense of empowerment and authority. But it's something that was out of your control and it has caused you pain inadvertently. Even if it was about someone else or even if it was about you. Some of you, this could have been a shift at work. Okay. Also, why there's probably so many pentacles going on here and you just don't know what to do about it. And it honestly looks like you just come to the conclusion that you kind of just have to let it go. That's how it's looking. That the best, the most intelligent, discerning answer here to solving this is leaning into the fire, leaning into Knight of Wands, leaning into your own passion, your own creativity, your own thirst for life and freedom and excitement for new horizons, especially with the Fool being there. It's like you're looking for a way to like fix the problem, and you're realizing you just got to let it go. That's how this is translating. Um, any final cards for Pisces? Any final cards for Pisces? Yeah, the Hermit. So, I mean, we kind of knew you were going into that kind of space to rectify this anyway, or to figure out how to rectify this. So, when you go into the realm of hidden things, it looks like you go there and you realize there's nothing that you can do. Is almost what this feels like. It's out of your hands, it's out of your control, and it's just easier to embrace the change and embrace how you can move forward. And that seems to be by just choosing fun, wild, abandon. Um, I'm getting a little creativity though there too. Pisces, if this is about a change in your work or your status, I totally understand and resonate with like wanting to hold on to that or wanting some way to fix that. But it seems like it actually has relieved you of some sort of responsibility. And maybe it does affect your finances, especially if it's like a work situation. But if you have less responsibilities, you also have more freedom to have some fun. Just saying. And I think that's how you're seeing it, if that's how it's coming through for you. Very interesting. All right, guys, that's it. I got to go. It is almost 5:30. I still got a lot of things on my list that need my attention, but it was great to connect with everybody today. And I know I was a little sassy, a little spicy. So thank you for hanging in there with me, with where I'm at in my mood. I know a lot of you don't mind. But I know for some of you guys it's kind of jarring sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed that. I will be live on Thursday on Patreon to do the full moon Scorpio hangout. We're going to get deeper into the astrology, look at some fixed stars, and also pull cards and have fun and have sleepover vibes as we do. And what else? I think that's it as far as like announcements go. And yeah, and I hope you enjoy the full moon. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a great week. Bye. Take care.